Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to our next episode of the Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening campaign. My name is Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be your game master for tonight. And as you can see, I am joined by some absolutely lovely people who are going to be playing in this game with me. I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves and their characters, and maybe if you'd like to tell us a little bit about how your character might be feeling at the moment or something they might be looking to do. I'm going to start with Tom.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tom. I use he, him pronouns, as does Bram Shatteroak. Look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for. So previously I was saying to Josh, it's like Bram really doesn't know why he's staying around. He's used to travelling on the road, and now the love of his life is back. And now there's a little version of him running around. So if you need a reason... Look, we've pointed out that Bram's a cowboy, and so we're now at that point where it's like, but the children! You must protect the children! And he's like, all right. Yeah. Also, once again, Bram hasn't been to bed in 24 hours. He's still on points of exhaustion. Will he get some sleep? I don't know. I hope so. Yeah. Lots of emotions. Big times, to the extent that most of the rest of the plot has passed him by. So she was like, oh, the rest of your party are upset. She doesn't look a day over 25. Anyway, yeah, difficult times. Yes, do you want to throw to someone else, Josh, as I just consider mortality? Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, well, on that, I think we'll move over to Talia.
Hello. Talia, she, her pronouns. I'm a little bit ill. This is why I am an alto today.
It's husky.
I know, so different. It does fit more in with his voice than the way I imagine it, which is a bit more down here. Also, she, her pronouns, Oath of Redemption, Beefling Paladin, didn't used to be. Hira is stressed. Hira is always stressed, but Hira is now more stressed with her siblings here, with the her hidden possible danger just from her siblings being here, and also the gang that is, I suppose, here to fight the bad guys. Not really a coherent team. How can you lead that? How can you plan tactics? How can you trust anyone to do anything kind of sensible? So, also contemplating mortality, but in the kind of sense that she is mortality, so
I am the void.
You think about the void and how it comes to you. I will be there on the other end.
On that terrifying note, we're going to move over to Nat.
Oh, God. Hi, Nat. She, her pronouns, as does my character, Elodie Fogg, who Artificer Bloodhunter, possessor of many voices, many birdie voices in head. Elodie is... So previously I answered this question with Elodie is stressed. Elodie is very stressed. Elodie has had like the most stressful series of days she has ever had. I think at this point right now, she's gone through she had a day of okay, so things were incredibly stressful, the fire, and then then Lucian nearly died, and then it was okay because we went to talk to Solomon and he promised her that she could go and read all of his books, and that was very exciting. So there's maybe a little shimmering hope of just being able to sit somewhere quiet and read a lot on her own, which was ideal. And then we went and met a whole load of people who were like, oh, there's some people that the baddies are looking for, and here's this name that happens to be Elodie's real name on the list. And also someone called Visenya as well. Who's that? And so the fear, the stress has been replaced with sort of genuine fear of, well, I need to get out of Dodge because I am a problem now, and I am more dangerous to be here in court than if I leave. But then that's flipped immediately to stress again because something's up with Lilla. So it's not a good day, I would say.
No, definitely not.
No.
And we're going to come to somebody else who has potentially not had a very good time of it since being with the group. Perry? Well, actually, no, had a very good day recently. Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I am Evie, she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Peripatea/Perry, who uses she, they pronouns. Peripatea is an Asimar, semi-immortal, body-hopping zealot barbarian. It gets complicated. And Perry has had a lot of lore drops in the last 24 hours about apparently this being, what was it, the 1370th incarnation of them, something like that. Finding a journal from a previous life. Solomon's been there the entire time with lots of journals, and now there's information on getting like translators, and it's a whole thing. So it's a little overloaded processing all the information. Also, Celerimus apparently is an actual person from the past who
Not just in my head.
who I had a bit of a crush on in a previous life, which is cool. So feeling a little overloaded at the moment, but feeling like they've hit their stride a little bit more, had a couple of more wins. So yeah, things are looking up. Also
Something.
contemplating immortality.
I too shall be the void.
I was going to say, someone in this team needs to be having a good day.
That's very true. That is very true. Before we get into tonight's session, we have a couple of sponsors and supporters that we'd like to thank. Our sponsor for tonight is Phoenix Dice. You can click on the link that will appear in chat right now to get yourself some clickety-clack math rocks, including some limited edition roll-together dice, which look fantastic and are amazing. I actually have one right here. Aha!
Ooh.
Don't do that, Josh. Do that.
See.
Every time, Josh. Every time it's like, oh.
Yes, this is our roll-together dice. That's our roll-together dice. There you go.
They're very pretty. They roll so smoothly. They're nice in your hands. They come in a range of additional non-RT colours, but get the RT ones because they're the nicest.
But
But
on the
then
poster.
you can buy a range of them so you can have others that support your imaginary palette.
There you go. Exactly. And if you use the code roll-together, all caps at checkout, you can get yourself 25% off of your purchase. Moving over to our supporters, Idle Champions of Forgotten Realms. If you type !code into chat right now, you can get yourself a code for a free Electrum chest, which you can use in-game which I believe gives you coins and potions and things for your characters. You gather characters from the multiverse of D&D, and you battle waves of monsters, and it's on all platforms you can possibly think of. PCs, consoles, mobiles,
The microwave.
tablets.
Is it on the
The
microwave?
microwave. You could probably get it on one of those smart microwaves, I reckon.
Challenge.
Or a
Fridges.
smart fridge. Yeah, or a smart fridge. That'd be interesting to play.
Play it on your
Can we, play
fridge.
it, can we play it on Rodney's fridge?
I reckon so. I reckon Rodney could get it installed quite easily.
It's pretty
Has
smart.
technology gone too far?
Yes, just a little bit. We're also proud to be supported and support Bearded Ladies, which is a clothing group that was created by Roll Together veterans G and Ed. You can check all of their stuff out in the chat right now. And also Michael Dobson's character art. You can see all around in our players' frame, box, camera things, the artwork for the characters that they are playing. That artwork was very masterfully done by Mike. If you'd like to see your own characters done in this particular art style, go hit Mike up for a commission by following his Instagram page. Finally, massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom, by following the links in chat and in the description below. Speaking of the description below, if you are watching us on YouTube, please do consider leaving a like, commenting on the video, and subscribing to the channel, because it lets us know what you like so that we can make more of it. I missed something there, and whatever it was I missed, I'm going to blow up.
Did a thumb up.
It was a thumb up. The thumb up. Yes, that's everything. So I think we are going to get into tonight's episode of Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening. In the last session of Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening, our group are currently recovering from the trauma of the mercenary company burning down. Yep, that happened. And going to Perry, Elodie, and Lucian going to the beach to retrieve one of Peripatea's books, came back and had a conversation with Solomon along with Bram, Hera, and Udric. Lots of secrets were revealed. I won't go into all of them now because this will make it a mega long recap. But the end result was that the group got called to the tavern where a meeting was being held with the scout party that had taken forever to get back. The scout party revealed that Kimdak's forces are currently looking to try and open the door through using mutated animals, as well as having a angel-blessed prisoner that was familiar to Bram and to Hera. And we ended off the episode with a touching heart-to-heart moment between Elodie and Udric, and a touching moment between Bram and Greta.
Touching?
I mean, there was touching because she almost took your head off with that slap.
Everyone else in this episode was slapped for little, and I got 3 hit points worth of. It
was a hard slap. We were introduced finally, even though he has appeared in small little cameos throughout the series. We were introduced to Bram's son, and a challenge was officially accepted by Fluffy and the rest of Fluffy's party in the pits. So, and the final thing that happened at the end of the session was Lilla would not wake up, and Fluffy, or Thaddeus, said that it seems like Lilla is in something known as the slumber, which is something that dragonkin and dragons suffer with, or a condition that they can suffer with. So that is where we are going to pick up. On that same evening, you will get to rest, don't worry. Not all of this is going to happen in one day. I will let you all sleep, but just to sort of go through the rest of what's happened there. Lucian has long gone back to the hospital to check on Celia to make sure she's okay. And Udric is currently sat outside of the tavern. He's got that whole essence around him where he's a uninteractable NPC thing, as is the norm that we do in this campaign now. But the rest of you are sort of sprinkled around between the downstairs part of the tavern and the upstairs part in Lilla's room. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, Perry and Bram are downstairs, and Hera and Elodie are upstairs. Is that correct?
Bram ran for the doctor, but then didn't go into the room because he was like, I would get in the way. I think Perry started pouring pints.
Perry started mixing jelly beans and rum with the bartender, I believe.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Definitely. Trying to keep sort of the situation a bit chill, as it were. The bartender, one of the owners of the bar, Jana Riffs here, she stood behind the bar with you, and she's sort of taken your instruction on jelly beans to add into the rum. And are you sure we should be adding all of these different colours in? Would it not be better to focus on one flavour and then, or is it the sort of like a rainbow effect you're going for?
Going for like a rainbow effect. Have you ever heard of rainbow milk?
I've not heard of rainbow milk. It sounds sweet.
It's a new craze sweeping the nation, invented by our very own Stacy from the church. It's amazing. So I want to make the same effect, but in rum.
Okay. I'm definitely going to have to speak to my daughter about rainbow milk. I reckon she'd love that. That she begins putting some more jelly beans in, still with a cautious look on her face, and stirs it with one of those sort of cocktail stirrers that you can get. And should we take the jelly beans out, or should we leave them to soak?
I think, what if we did them as shots and then chewed the jelly beans with the rum?
We could definitely do that. Another idea that I've had we could do. Actually, bear with me a moment. And she disappears and comes back with a bottle of rum. Would you mind if I take some of your jelly babies?
Jelly babies?
Jelly beans.
I'm not a mother, so let's keep it to beans.
Okay, yes, the beans. Sorry, I got my brands mixed up. She'll take a few jelly beans off of you, and she opens the bottle. The bottle is a bottle of rum that's about half full, and she pours a load in, more than what probably should be put in there. But you watch as the rum fills up almost to the rim again with how many she's put in. She puts the cork back in. I'm going to store this in the cellar room, and I reckon if we leave this for about a week, maybe, to let the rum absorb into the jelly beans, we might be able to have some jelly bean rum, as in
That sounds
sweets.
It sounds like a really good idea, but it would probably take until the end of the campaign until we could actually try it.
I don't know what you mean by the end of the campaign, but yes, it would take many sessions for it to actually be effective.
So yes, let's store that. But
Yes.
oh, is there a way to get a jelly bean jelly sugar consistency in a shorter term as well? So we've got 2 ideas cooking.
I'm sure we can definitely cook up something. Definitely, yes. I mean, we've got this jelly bean and rum drink here that we can serve to people, and they can in shots like you suggested. And then this other thing is like a sweet that we could put out for people to maybe purchase. That's a really good idea, actually.
Obviously, I get first dibs.
Oh yes, of course. You can if you're up for it, you can taste test everything.
Excellent, and I will.
Brilliant. And she will stir the jelly beans a bit more. You can see that the colouring of the jelly beans has faded, and they are basically pure white, almost transparent within this glass. And she gets a shot, whatever they're called, like a shot thing, pours a little bit from the glass into that, and then pours that into a shot bottle with a jelly bean, and she slides that over to you for you to drink.
I take it, but I would like to point out that I don't think this body has had alcohol in the month I've been alive. So it's very much going to depend on Gwen's tolerance for alcohol.
Okay. Let's say make a Constitution saving throw, but do not add your pluses to it.
Oh, so just do a
I think it's
flat
just straight.
roll?
Yeah, just a flat roll. Yeah.
I got a nat 1
Oh, Gwen.
Oh no, Gwen.
with a +3, but like,
She's straight edge.
oh,
She doesn't
no.
even do
She was a
caffeine.
member. She
She's
was
a
a
member
member
of
of the
the
church.
Yeah.
Drink it as quickly as you can. The jelly bean tastes somehow sweeter than what it did when it was just a normal jelly bean. The rum is like a instant explosion in your sort of as it travels down, it's like an instant explosion of heat to sort of encompasses your entire body, and that sort of essence within you that glows that golden color that you feel where Gwen comes from goes like a really, instead of it being like a golden yellow, it goes almost like a orangey yellow color, and it begins sort of swaying backwards and forwards within you. You can't see any of this. It's just a feeling that you have within you. And it takes you a moment before you realize that Perry's not drunk, but the body is, and you are swaying backwards and forwards.
So I have the physical effects of feeling a bit woozy without actually being drunk myself.
Yeah.
None of the joy of the alcohol buzz.
None of the joy.
It
I
seems
just
that,
oh.
yeah, it seems that this particular shot has not hit your spirit like it has Gwen's spirit.
Then again, I wouldn't know to expect anything else, I suppose.
But yes, you
Yeah,
are
it's pretty good.
swaying backwards and forwards, or side to side, should I say.
Yeah. Excellent. I added to the menu immediately.
I definitely will, and she takes a swig of it as well. Ooh. Oh, it's like a... well, that's really nice. It's like a bomb type thing that I've tried before, but there's a lot less to it. It's a lot more manageable. Yes, definitely going to add that to the board. And she... thank you. Please help yourself to another one. Don't drink all of them, though. I'd like to save them. And she sort of disappears off, and you watch as she comes out with like a stencil and paper and all of that, and she starts drawing up advertisements for it and things. for a
Well,
new
I'll
treat.
tip it and I'll help and do some very crude drawings that she can then do over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I'm going to make it look a little bit nicer, though. Yep. And then we need to come up with a name for it. The jelly shot. Does that work?
The jelly bomb.
Jelly bomb. There we go. So jelly bomb. Ah, yes. Thank you. While that's happening, Bram, you have ran out to get the doctor from the apothecaries. Now you've pretty much bolted right up there. Just as the doctor was leaving the infirmary to go home, you can see that not leaving to go home, he was just getting there because he was in the meeting.
Yes, I ran after him.
You ran after him, and he
With
stops.
the bear.
Like,
I have one of the bears as my companion.
oh, everything okay?
No, Lilla's taken sick. So if you can, if you can come back, it is an emergency.
Yes, no, I'll come straight back, and he runs with you.
It's a bear. It's just
he's puts his hand on his head as if he's holding a hat, but he hasn't got a hat, and he's got the medicine bag as he's running down.
I am holding onto my hat though. Don't want to lose it.
Sorry, I'm used to having a hat on my head.
Oh, yeah, it's sorry. Get a hat. That's what I was told. Sorry,
yes.
Sorry.
That's a very good phrase. That's very good saying, that is. And you both burst into the tavern and make your way upstairs towards the room. What's Hera doing at this point? Before we jump to Elodie.
Hera spent the end of the last one basically putting in a lot of layered hands into the guy to try and help stabilize. So it's mostly, I think, I had been given the thought that I don't know how much connection she's had with Thea recently, so I think it's just kind of trying to go into that, like, it would be so easy to do, ruin this, but I'm trying to be a good person. I'm just trying to put as much energy as I can, trying to hold on to that connection of, Thea believed in me, just as much healing as I can into Lilla, which I think we did say eventually did start working to some extent.
To some extent.
Making that, trying to make that happen.
As you're doing that, your lay on hands, the magical energy is pouring out from your lay on hands into Lilla's body. You can see the radiant energy coming out of your hands, but every now and then there's just a little flicker of darkness that begins to try and crawl its way out of your hands and into Lilla. But the light sort of fights it back and pushes it back. But as that happens and you try to think of that connection that you have with the Lightbringer, you feel that something is blocking your connection, and you feel that there is a light and a dark fighting over you, fighting over the power that you're currently expressing outwards at the moment.
Come on. Your mother will have my head if you die.
I think seeing Hera sort of doing lay on hands, Elodie sort of been watching, and obviously she has seen Hera do lay on hands before, but has also sort of slowly, sort of accidentally before now done her own have the ability to do healing hands, so as a racial feature rather than a class feature. So I think she's been watching and sort of connecting that she can do something similar. And we'll sort of look at Hera almost for permission, sort of slowly reaching out to Lilla, Lilla's like shoulders, and go to do it as well.
Look at you. You know what you're doing. I trust you. Come help. We need everything we can get.
I don't, but here we go. Come on, Lilla. We'll do like, I know mechanically there's a thing going on, but we'll do 4 healing points.
You do your healing hands and you feel that energy emanate from you. And although you've used this ability before, haven't you? And it has a colour to it.
Yeah, by accident before, but this time she's properly sort of intentionally trying.
And it comes out, and it's strange because the longer that you hold it and try to do it, the more the colouring of the magic changes. Not to the point, not the same as Hero, where a little bit of darkness tries to come out or anything like that, but it's more that the colours of the menagerie begin to pull out, and you can feel and hear their presence around you as they are trying to help by trying to put as much of their energy into it as well. They care for Lilla as much as you do, and they're trying to bolster your power. So your magic, the aura around your magic, is almost like their magic aura is sort of holding hands with yours, and it's all meshing into one as that emanates over Lilla's body. Between the pair of you casting this, one of you focus more around the head and shoulder area, and the other one focus more around the stomach and leg sort of area. Her entire body is, I mean, she's a dwarf, so there's not much of her there in terms of other medium-sized creatures, but her entire body is encompassed in this multicolored aura as Bram enters into the room with, or allows the doctor to enter into the room so to not overcrowd.
Bram's also not very good at being in hospital rooms, considering what happened to him in the past. So is also like, yeah. So lets the doctor in, kind of lingers, sort of. I think looks at my two companions, to sort of like, can I just do an like insight from the door of like, I mean, Eddie's not crying, so I guess it's not as bad as it could be. 15.
15, yeah. So what sort of thing do you think Bram would be getting from the pair of you while you're performing this spell with a 15?
I think, just the sort of hope, I guess, and the warmth of feeling the menagerie kind of joining in. There's probably she's aware. Obviously, there are other people that she's not spoken to about the menagerie in this room, so there is a barely perceptible thank you as to them as she's doing this, and probably just a little clock eye with Hera as a sort of a first moment of sort of acknowledging that we're working together, which is nice. But she'll sort of nod at you as you come in to be like, well, you know, she's not waking up, but she's not bleeding out.
Yeah.
What does Bram get from Hera?
Things are happening not quite as they should be, but not badly as they could be, and that, you know, whatever's happening, they are making it good. So there's a sense of like very much like deliberation, a little bit of stress, because when is there not stress coming from here? But it's more like, okay, see, this is what happens when we get together. Also a little bit of kind of like, I'm trying to say with the 15, give me a second, I just need to check something. Yeah, that's what you get. That's all you get.
That's fair. Tally is also in the room, as is Thaddeus, the large sort of sapphire blue scaled dragonkin who Perry calls Fluffy. Tally looks concerned, not as panicked as you might assume from a parent. It's as if this is something that's happened before, is the feeling you get from that. She's just a bit unsure on what to do with herself at the moment. And Thaddeus looks confused as to what's going on at the moment, but has taken a step back away from Lilla to allow the doctor to get in. And the doctor comes in and he begins doing the examinations on Lilla. He doesn't move Hera or Elodie. He doesn't move you away.
Okay.
He keeps you both there doing what you're doing. I know obviously those spells are like instantaneous and all that, but I'll allow you to hold them without sort of expressing it, because I get the sort of feeling of what you're trying to do. But he looks over Lilla's opens the eye, sort of puts a little stone light up against her eye to check the pupils, shuts the eye, asks Tally for permission to pull down her top slightly, and Tally's like, no, please do, and pulls down the top where you can all see this big scar that goes down. You've seen this scar plenty of times, Elodie, but there's something strange about it at the moment. It is glowing with all of that radiant energy that both of you are pumping into her. The scar itself is like amplified, and as that pulls down, it almost sort of projects light out across the room, and it's like a dance of stars is dancing around, like as if you were to reflect light off of a disco ball or draconic scales, maybe, is sort of spread out all around the room, and everybody's like, oh my lord, wow, that's and Thaddeus looks up, it's like, that's not possible, how is that happening? And the Carden, the doctor, finishes the examination and steps away, looks towards Thaddeus, and Thaddeus nods. It's like they've got a silent sort of agreement on what's going on. Lilla is suffering with something known as the slumber. I say suffer. I suppose it would be suffering when you're not dragonkin. Thaddeus, you're probably the best person to explain this. And Thaddeus steps forward. Yes, the slumber is something that dragonkin and dragons, it's a hibernation state that we can enter into when we exert too much energy or need to recover, or in dragons' cases want to live longer. We enter into this hibernation state, and we can stay asleep for days, weeks, months, even years. The thing that is concerning here is that Lilla is not dragonkin, does not have dragon blood. I know who her parents are, and no dragon in them at all. So I don't understand how she is suffering with this, and I don't know what effect it will have on her the longer she is asleep. Us dragonkin and dragons, we're climatized to this. We can go days, months, years without having to eat. We wake up incredibly hungry afterwards. But for anybody who isn't one of us, I don't know if she'll be able to survive being asleep for too long.
Question, Josh. Is Solomon still in the room?
Solomon is in the room. He's sort of more in the corner. He knows that he's just going to get in the way, so he's sat on a chair in the corner with his walking stick, sort of leaning on it. You can see there is a intense look of worry on his face as he's looking, and tears are welling up in his eyes.
I have a question that Nat knows that dragons take on human forms in the traditional D&D worlds. Does Elodie know whether that is true of Aeodrun?
Make me a history check, please. In fact, anybody who's there can make me a history check.
I've done it again. I've noped out of an important group conversation.
Sorry.
I rolled a nat 1. I am
Ooh.
focused.
I got 15. I think Perry's just reading about dragons at the moment. I'm like, Snoresville. That was old me. Moving on. Yeah.
Harry's open to the actual answers in their book, but they're just in the wrong room.
Yep.
That was a 15 as well for Elodie.
Okay, so for Bram and Elodie, you're both going to get the same information. Sources are completely different. So for Bram, it's more rumours that you've heard through travelling through the Dimigan Empire, which is the Dwarven Empire to the north. And for Elodie, it's more through bits of research that you've done within the Abacathus Library. It's things that you've probably weren't supposed to be studying, but maybe it piqued your interest when you came across it. There are tales that the Iron Council, which is the body that rules the Empire, are dwarves who have ascended to dragonhood, who have had the ability to ascend to dragonhood. So both of you would know that from different sources, and it would be pretty safe to assume that dragons being able to take on more humanoid form is a possibility, although from tales that you've both read about different people. When they take on humanoid form, it's more likely that they would take on a dragonkin form rather than a human or a dwarf or an elf or something. Elodie, as a little extra, I know you obviously both rolled the same, but as a little extra because of your educational background, there are rumours that not so much rumours, but there was a title that was held by the Emperor of the Imperium, which was the Dragon Emperor, at one point. Don't know if it's the Emperor who's currently sat on the throne now or if it was a previous one, because that memory of that particular book that you read doesn't quite register, but you know Imperium, Dragon Emperor, Dimigan Empire, Iron Council of Dragons. That's the sort of thing that you both get from that.
Okay.
Sorry, go.
This has like wider lore stuff that I was not necessarily counting on. I think Elodie, good to know all that. I think what Elodie is focused on is at the very end of the last episode, Lila said that Tally said that Lila had had a blood transfusion from Solomon when she got stabbed. I think that is what Elodie is focusing on, and is sort of looking at Solomon, wondering if he is a dragon. Sorry, Tom, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, because I know we're sort of playing with the rules, dragons, do they still... Because elves don't have the extended life. Do dragons... Because, like, do they live for thousands and thousands of years? But dragonkin...
Dragonkin are the longest living species on Aeodrun. They're the one... Basically, in terms of the game stats, I've sort of swapped the elves and dragonkin around. So dragonkin can live for up to 1,000 years, and elves can live up to... basically the same, just slightly older than humans, about 150 to 200 years elves can live for. And then dwarves are up to 400, and then dragonkin are up to 1,000. Nobody knows how long Angel Bless live for.
Do orcs still have the shortened lifespan?
No, they live for the same sort of time frame as humans.
They live for 30 years.
Yes, yeah. I always think that's really tragic.
Or Aarakocra that can live for up to 5 years. I think it is.
Yeah.
I ignore all of those things because they only on one. Anyway,
too sad.
Yes, I have a question. Also, then kind of stemming from, I just want to do a medicine check on Lila, because if we're thinking about, I've also heard about the blood transfusion, and we're just trying to work out if her body can take it. And I just want to know if this is basically, will she be fine? Like, I just want to do a medicine check on her.
I'll allow you to roll a medicine check with advantage because the doctor has looked her over, and Elodie is also helping with their healing light.
Fantastic.
Oh, look at that.
What's that?
That is a natural 20 for 25 with the advantage.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what it was without.
Oh, I want to know now. With the help of Carden the doctor, and with Elodie's healing light also echoing around Lila's body, between you and the doctor, you can determine that although both of your magical abilities haven't had an effect on Lila's health in terms of HP and stuff, the healing energy has eased the length of the slumber. You can't put an estimate on how long Lila's going to be asleep for, but you've both got a sense that it's not going to be as long as it probably was intended to be. Thaddeus would explain to you it's all down to how much energy is exerted. The more energy that one of us sort of exerts in one time, the longer that we need to rest for. With the current things that have happened lately, with the mercenary company burning down, Lila trying to survive that, I'm going to guess that a lot of her energy was put into surviving. So
She should be fine.
Is there anything else we can do other than try and give her that energy?
I think you would do yourselves more damage if you were to keep pumping this energy into her. in the long run, yes, you could wake her up, but you might kill yourselves in the process. I think the best thing to do would be for Lilla to remain here and don't move her. Never move a slumbering dragon, as they say. We'll never touch a slumbering dragon.
They do say that.
They do say that, apparently. It's a phrase quoted by Mozart. Anyway,
the great painter.
the great painter and
Philosopher.
that's the one, philosopher, yeah.
It's definitely art movement.
But the best thing to do would be to keep an eye on her. Maybe if when you have rested and have gained some of your power back, that you come back here and perform this ritual again, and do it every day until she wakes up. It could speed up her time to wake up. But for the moment, the best thing to do is just to let her sleep and rest.
From the feel of it, I think if we do this a couple more times and maybe she might need some fluid. But it doesn't feel like she's going to starve herself out while she rests. It's abnormal, but she feels like she's handling it.
I can set up. I can bring in a fluid tube and everything for her, so that she's constantly got the fluids that she needs every day. Doctor speaking. So I can do that. I'll go get those bits now before I go home. Get that all set up, so you don't have to worry about that. I would say maybe feed her every, depending on how long she's asleep for, but maybe try and feed her every 3 days. Yes, that's a good point, Doctor. We don't tend to eat when we're in slumber. So there have been cases where members of a dragon cult have tried to feed their slumbering dragon, and that dragon has thrown up, died on its own sick sort of thing, because we don't have the ability to process food while we're slumbering. Basically, our entire body shuts down while we're slumbering. All of our bodily functions do not work while we're slumbering.
I think just stick with the fluids. I think that will be enough.
Plus, that saves you having to deal with the poop.
And on that note...
Yes, I will not go into what happens when we wake up.
On a side note, we are highly coming up to towards one of my big nose.
It is a thing that's, if you ever see a dragon-shaped rock, be careful.
Because it's a dragon.
Because it could be a dragon that's been slumbering for thousands of years. Eventually, over time, dragons turn to stone if they slumber for too long.
Okay, that's theoretical. Lila will be fine.
Yes, Just keep an eye on her. Come and check on her every day.
We'll do
now,
that.
I'm going to go because I've been challenged to a fight in the pits tomorrow that I need to go prepare for. So it's long overdue, I believe. I think your friend has been itching to clash blades with me, so I'm going to enjoy that. Please feel free to join. I have other members of my party that would be itching to stretch their legs if any of you are up for it.
Make sure you practice. They're going to beat you, so at least give them something entertaining to do.
Wow, okay.
I have some other errands that I need to attend to, but I will make sure that Perry gets a good night's sleep.
God, yes.
Tali.
Shots downstairs.
Tali, I've not seen Rodney all day. How is he doing?
Rodney's currently at home at the moment. He was doing some work up at the mercenary company and fell over. Leg completely gave out when trying to put some weight on it, so he was escorted.
See him while we were there. Wait, does he not stay at the mercenary company? I thought he lived there.
He lives elsewhere.
Yeah.
He lives elsewhere, but
has an actual home.
Fun fact: he lives in Solomon's old house from the 55-year-ago one shot.
Ah.
He lives there.
But he gets up so early and goes to bed so late, if that's the case.
Yeah.
We've also established there were
Dedicated.
mattresses, so he could have slept in the cupboard.
He could have, yeah.
I will check in on him first thing in the morning. It's very late again.
Yeah. It's very late for all of us. All of you need to go get some rest. I don't know where everybody else is, but I can But yeah, please make sure that Perry gets some rest as well.
Oh, I'll go round her up. I think she's made a drinking song. It's dramatic. As Bram's walking away, in the back of his head, he's like, I think I should have known that dragon stuff. That would have helped me, but I don't know why. It's just something slips through his mind. Oh, well. Sometimes people turn into rocks. It's fine.
Okay, so you head downstairs, and Perry is behind the bar, swaying side to side.
Oh, no, it's too late. Hello?
The god of jelly beans! Knocks it back.
Oh, we're doing
Oh,
guard
the
stuff.
guardian of jelly beans. I keep making that mistake.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if it's blasphemy, but if you want to be the guardian of jelly beans, I suppose the position's free.
I am the guardian of jelly beans. I'm not drunk, by the way. Gwen is drunk. I'm fine.
Yes, no, I'm...
Okay.
That's what they all say. As I sort of, gesture to my companions to, are we pulling up a pew, or...
I think Thaddeus is really keen on fighting you in the morning, Perry.
I'm pouring you shots.
Oh, and you should make sure that you are in the best possible shape to, kick his backside. So,
But you can say but. There you go.
But, you, we should really go to sleep.
I will give you a deal. I'll go to sleep after you've tried this.
Oh, sounds like a deal. So roll the jelly bean around my mouth and swallow it. Like I'm doing... God, would Bram swallow the worm? Bram probably would. He's that bad. Yeah.
It's not a worm, it's a jelly bean.
But when you're doing tequila and the worm's in the yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
What kind of tequila are you drinking?
The one that's full of worms.
Authentic.
Yeah.
Anybody who's drinking can make a constitution. Actually, no, because the constitution saving throw was more to see how Gwen, who is a priestess, could hold her drink. So, I mean, unless you don't feel that your characters have drunk that much before,
Bram
you can make it.
Did a lot of shots first time in this bar. So, yeah, hardy.
Yeah, so you're fine. Elodie, possibly.
I'm going to roll to see what Perceptia's sway against all of the others is. Basically, I'm making a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Oh, it's flat down the middle.
Just a 10 or?
11 total.
I
think she's just kind of standing there going, what exactly did you say was in this other than the jelly beans?
Rum. Alcohol. Grown-up drink.
It's good. It's good rum, if that changes your mind.
Adult juice.
I mean, I'm very tired, though.
It'll help you sleep. That's why they call it a nightcap.
Oh, very well.
Peer pressure wins again.
If you'd failed that, I would have asked for your best Emphia impression.
Well, no, that was a wisdom saving throw as to whether she would do it or not. The Constitution saving throw is a 7.
Okay, I would like your best Emphia impression, please.
I don't think Elodie would go full Emphia in this moment.
No, but it's just in terms of the voice, I think this particular alcoholic beverage possibly brings out one of your friends without it being an alchemical concoction.
Oh, well, if it's going to bring out any of them, it would be. Oh, flip. What's his name? Bear with. Okay, so yeah. So if it's going to bring out anyone, she shots it. And then is just like, my goodness, that is interesting.
Oh,
Very
good
well.
lord, you've
Shall
gone
we-
French.
What is French?
You've gone, what's a region? I don't know.
There is a region that speaks French in the world.
That translates to French when we speak our tongue, remember?
Yeah.
The French accent.
Yeah, she'll just be like, oh, very well. Oh, excuse me. Alorim, what was that? Shall we to bed?
Yes, how is Prankster Pants upstairs?
Sleeping. Long sleep. Interesting. Might have some dragon blood in her.
Oh, cool.
You don't know anything about that, do you? Do you remember anything from at all?
About having
in your journals?
about having dragon blood?
Or having a long sleep, like going into torpor or...
Josh, how much do I remember, if anything?
Other than what the flashbacks that you've had so far, nothing. You've not had a chance to read through your journal just yet.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't ring any bells. There might be something in the journal, but who has time to read like 50 pages in 15 minutes of free time that we've had?
I mean, no. You should read it first.
Yes, I should. I know we're sharing a room. Don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be more convincing with that? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Actually, yeah, no, it's fine. I shall not read your book before you.
Good. The pinky promise will hold you to it.
Mhm.
Well, glad that she's sleeping. That's good. We should all do that.
No, I haven't been.
Agreed.
I spent the night in a basement taking care of Solomon, so... And, yeah. Well, sleep well, folks. Especially, I don't know where my room is. I'll go have a word with... yeah, I'm going to sort of like...
Oh, yes, I can show you to where your room is. That's fine.
Thank you. Do you need a hand with cooking? I'm quite good at cooking. If you need like,
Well, always help. Always thankful for more help in the kitchen. If you'd like to come down a bit earlier in the morning, Rodney normally comes and helps set some bits up just before he heads to the mercenary company. He wakes up really early for some reason.
He does that before coming to us?
Yes, about 3 o'clock in the morning he turns up here.
3 o'clock in the
He
morning.
must barely sleep.
It's
Like an hour of sleep a night.
You didn't hear this from me, but his affliction means that he doesn't actually sleep at all.
Oh.
That would explain it.
No, we need to look into that.
But he rests.
So he should. That is a good point, actually. Flip. Oh, Elodie would know her name.
Jana.
Jana.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Jana, at some point, would I be able to avail of your kitchen, please? And just borrow a couple of saucepans. I will make sure they are thoroughly cleaned afterwards.
I don't see why not. Yes, I mean, whatever it is you're making, I could do for you if you just give me the ingredients and instructions.
Very kind of you to offer. Unfortunately, this is not food that I'm making.
Oh, okay. No, that's understandable. I won't pry anymore. But yes, please do feel free to come down and use it. We have some extra stoves and stuff that you can use. That's okay. As if it's not food based, as long as it doesn't get mixed in with what
I will
we're
wash
cooking, that's
everything
fine.
thoroughly.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, but Mr. Bram, yes, follow me and I'll take you to your room.
Thank you. Night, y'all. See you in the morning. I am also just thinking about what happens if we mix the food with Elodie's stuff. You're like, will my birds come to me? I don't know.
I want to eat the ether. I want to eat it.
No ether for anyone.
Where is the ether actually?
In the basement at the mercenary company. Solomon took it.
Yeah. Good. So that won't be having an effect on Sunny. Okay, so you all go to bed. Both Elodie and Perry are sharing a room. Hira is in a room on her own with Sunny, and Bram, you are in your own room, although it does look like it's out for 2 more bodies, although those 2 bodies are not here currently.
Lads. Okay. I just love I get my own room every time. I'm a special little boy.
And you can all hit the long rest button.
Woo!
Yay.
Odd.
Do I get dream shenanigans again?
I'm going to make you roll for it this time. Roll me a
Oh, okay.
wisdom saving throw, please, with disadvantage because your body is drunk.
That is okay. So that's a 5 plus 3. I got an 8.
Okay. Eek. So, I'm also going to need a wisdom saving throw from Hero as well, please.
Oh. Just a
Stream
straight one?
sharing.
Oh, sheesh. That's my good die as well. It's my good boy who wants to tell a story. That is a 10.
Okie dokie.
I rolled
Right.
a 5.
So, everybody goes to sleep. Everybody has a relatively restful night. Well, Bram definitely does. Bram, as soon as your head hits that pillow, you are out like a light bulb. You can definitely get rid of that 1 point of exhaustion that you've been carrying around for the past 4 sessions.
It says I need food and drink, so I think I end up some slightly stale cake that was in my pack, which has been carried around, and while I finally get to eat the chocolatey cake. Yeah.
And Elodie, the call of reading Perry's book, it just calls to you, but
I don't think it's that keeps her awake. I mean, that is tempting, but it is the everything else. I think with the panic about Lila dying down, she has come back to the I've got to get out of this town kind of panic.
And while Perry and Hira are sound asleep, Perry, we come to you first. You dream the same dream as you always do with the bridge. The rock creature, the Evermaiden, is absent again, as is the scythed figure, although the archway is back with a fluorescent or lavish green terrain on the other side of it. But that mist that was in your previous dream that had encompassed the entire bridge is slowly clawing its way around, and you can see above it 2 piercing red eyes looking down at you. No noise is coming from anywhere. The usual voices that you would hear from people that you've begun to recognize, like Solomon, Tally, and others, is not present. It's as if you're in a soundless void. What does stand out to you, however, is a book, a journal, in the middle of the bridge between where you are stood and where the archway is. The journal looks familiar to the one that you are probably hugging in bed at the moment.
Under the pillow.
Under the pillow. It looks exactly like that book. And as you look at it, the book itself opens on its own. And you can't read it from the distance that you're at, but you can see that the words begin to glow purple, like aether. And as they begin to glow and the words themselves begin to pull out of the book, they swirl around and then form a figure stood opposite you. A pink-scaled draconic figure that you have felt the presence of in a memory. And they are holding a bow in their hands. They look to you with a smile that is very similar to the one that you give. And they just tap the book with their staff. If you want my memories, you're going to have to read the messages within the book.
This book?
In that book, yes. You're going to need to spend a long time reading it, however. And there is a trial that you must pass. If you fail that trial...
Sign me up, baby. I'm ready.
I would pre-warn you now to prepare yourself for it, because if you fail that trial, I will take you over.
Wait, aren't you me?
Oh, I am, but each of us has a different personality.
But you're still here.
I'm here because I'm in your memories.
And my memory will take me over if I fail this trial.
Your previous memories will take you over, yes. It's strange when we read these journals, we gain the memories of those lives that we lived. The books are magically infused with the memories. We have to partake in the trial of whoever its life it was before. If we fail that, the memories of your current life will be lost, the personality of your current life will be lost, and I will take you over. Although, yes, you will technically still be you, you will not be who you currently are. And that has an effect on your next reincarnation.
Oh. This raises some very deep philosophical questions that I didn't plan on contemplating in my dream state. Any tips on the trial to make sure there's, we don't have to deal with that?
Each of our lives has different trials that they will present to you. The more you read, depending on whose life it was, the trials will be different. As you can probably guess from what you have learned of me so far, my trial is either going to be, shows the bow to you, it's either going to be bow-based or science-based.
Oh no. Oh no, I think I know who I need to ask for help. Maybe. Okay, so I need to read... Wait, dream journal, real journal? Please give me... What?
The
Dream
real
journal, real journal?
The real journal, yes.
Real journal. And the trial will just present itself to me?
You'll be pulled into a mindscape similar to this. Not quite a dream, but your body will enter into a trance, and you will be pulled into a mind palace, is the word I'm going to use.
It's a good original term.
Good original term. Now, one thing I will say to you, the more of our journals that you read, the more adept at it you become, the more likely you are to succeed. If you have any opportunity to read any older journals, take it. I only was able to read 2 journals before this one, did not have access to any other journals.
Did Solomon not give you access to the vault?
I have recently learnt through your memories that prick kept a load of journals from me, which I'm not happy about, because I could still be there and not be you currently. However...
I'm a delight.
You are. Or we are, should I say. However, I am very intrigued by the fact that you are now in an elven body, which is the first time in the cycles that I can remember, at least.
Yeah, Solomon mentioned that was weird. I don't know why it's weird or why we haven't... Like, this has been like 1,000 whatever.
I didn't realise it was that many, but that makes sense.
You literally wrote in your previous journal the number.
That wasn't me.
That was... What? Who's been at the journal?
I don't know.
Someone's tampered with the journal. Would that affect the memories?
It could be. It's
This has
confusing.
been a disturbing dream.
It's a very disturbing dream.
Yeah.
I would come over and give you a hug, but I don't feel like you're the hugging type. And if I was to hug you, that might start some chain reaction that might end up with...
Fuck it, let's live a little.
Well, I don't really want to kill your friend, so...
Live a little. Fist bump.
No, thank you. She goes to raise her fist, and you watch as pink and black electricity sparks between the two of you and causes almost like a void to appear that pushes you both back. If we touch, we will kill everything in the building you're currently in.
Oh. Okay, so I guess it would be dialogue.
You need to pass the trial before that happens.
I need to pass a trial to give myself a fist bump. Okay, message loud and clear. I will also pass on your displeasure to Solomon.
Please do. Please do. I know he's going through something at the moment, so maybe go a little bit easy on him, but...
Oh, we're all going through something.
This is true. I am interested about that blood, though, so look into that. So that might be key to something. With his granddaughter.
Oh, you think that's actually important?
I think so, yes.
Oh. Okay, I guess I'll take an interest then.
Yes. Please do. If he is not a dragon, there is only one other place he could have got draconic blood from.
Which is?
Shows her arm.
You! Me! Haha. Interesting. I would interest taken past me. Thank you.
And in answer of what your previous question or previous thought that you had about the slumber, yes, we did enter the slumber once. We were asleep for 4 years in total. Our body had started to crystallize and turn to stone. We managed to wake up. Oddly enough, though, Solomon said that our body had been moving around during that time. Might be something to look into. Might be in one of the other journals.
I'll have a look. It might have been because we weren't fully dragonkin.
Could have been one of our past lives took over the body. Might explain where those numbers came from in the diary.
Yeah, I think. So you've been seeing my experiences, right?
Yes.
Do you think Elodie's like us?
There are similarities, but no. We are a different beast, as it were.
'Tis the nature of the beast, as the great poet Aristotle said.
I met him once, and she
you
fades
did?
back into the book.
Oh, we met Aristotle. Great. Okay, I'll read some books. Question a Walrus Guide. Talk to the Evermaiden. I've got things to do.
List upon list upon list upon list.
Mm-hmm.
Moving over to Gila.
Yeah.
You are in complete blackness. I say you're in complete blackness. You're not. Your vision is complete blackness. In a complete and utter dark void, and you can hear crying. And as that crying begins to get louder, you can see a light appears in the center of your vision, and a small catfolk little girl is on her knees in what looks to be a puddle of black water, crying, with her hands clasped in almost like prayer. And your body begins to take on a tangible shape, feel to it, and you can walk towards her. And as you do, you can see that she is knelt over the bodies of her father and her mother. Her mother, who you know is alive, she doesn't. And as you move round to her face, you can see that there are purple tears pouring out of her eyes and dripping down into this black water. And as soon as they touch it, like a shimmer of purple echoes from it. And you can see that she's covered in paint, and she's got a paintbrush at her side, stencil, easel thing is sort of propped up next to her, and one of these fantastic paintings has been painted on it again. It's a painting of you wielding a scythe that makes Perry's look like a toothpick. Yeah, I know, I said it. Completely wreathed in shadow. Your horns have extended. More horn appendages have appeared in your head. There is a flame, purple flame, that is sort of darting in between, that is like sort of in the center of the points of your horns. Your armor is spiked. Your expression is sinister. And it just says the Empress underneath it. And Sunny turns to you. Her eyes as I said, crying purple. And as she looks at you, the whites of her eyes are black. Her irises are purple. Why did you do it, Mother? Why did you have to kill them? Why did you leave me? Why did you hurt them? And it begins to expand. The light begins to expand outwards. And the first thing you see is the headband of Elodie, followed by Elodie's body. Then Bram, then Perry, then Udric, then Lucian, Solomon, Tally, Lilla first, Rodney, everybody you've met and made connections with. The final one that you see is Tally, slumped over. And she just looks at you. Why did you have to kill everybody? I thought you were on the path of redemption. I thought you loved me. I thought you loved everybody.
The last one's a bit much.
And then you just get a boom, boom, as the bodies begin to turn to dust. And Sunny's form turns to dust. And
No, not even in my own nightmares. You come back to me. I was gonna will at least her to stay.
You let this happen. As she disappears. Boom. Boom. Like a heartbeat. Something is calling to you. Something close by that you've held recently is calling to you, wanting to give you this power to right the wrongs of your people, of your family.
Even in this nightmare, I've seen everyone here that I care for dead by my hand. Not that I don't care for her, but is Perry also there?
Perry was one of the ones that was dead, yeah. And as all of the...
Okay, to say this is kind of going in my brain that you are the one I trust to survive me and the one that could take me down.
I'll take that as a compliment, I guess.
That's why I wanted to kind of start off with it's not because of any lack of feeling. You are the one.
I was going to say, is that the order that she killed us? Because me and Elodie went out like chumps.
Went out very quickly. As
Sorry.
As
Actually,
Sunny's
probably
form,
we would sacrifice ourselves. And she's like, no, you run. Go on.
as Sunny's form turns to dust and sort of leaves your hands, you're left looking at a reflection. And that reflection is of you as the Harbinger Empress. As you are pulled out of that dream. We're going to go to break. As I've traumatized some of the players, we're going to have a nice, fun second half anyway. So come back and join us. We're going to go for a short rest, and we will see you all in a little bit. Goodbye. Welcome back, everybody. We have had our short rests. We've coughed our guts out. We've got fresh drinks, and we are going to be going into the next session, second half of this session.
New session. Come on.
New session, everybody. Let's go for another 3 hours.
Woo! No sleep.
Yes. I need you to feel how your characters are feeling, so no sleep.
I've had a wonderful night's sleep, so...
Already. There is no way you can make me not.
In the first half, we discovered some things about Lilla, about a thing called the slumber, and everybody decided to go to sleep. Everybody had a peaceful sleep, mostly, other than Perry and Hera, who both had rather concerning dreams, one more than the other, I'd say. I'm sure that won't come up at any point in the story, and it's just a coincidence at this point. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to come back in as you all wake up the next morning, having long rested, finally, and you're on day 4 or 5.
What is time?
Future Josh will post up which day it is.
Day 8.
Face. Plaster it on my face right now. There we go. That's what day we're on. And you have all awoken to the smell of something. Most of you have awoken to the smell of something lovely cooking. Bram, you would have been woken up a bit earlier in the morning, and you have been escorted downstairs to begin preparing food for the day. I believe you have the chef feat, so you can prepare that in whatever way, shape, or form you would like to.
Amazing.
And yes, the rest of you are woken up by the smell of food. It is very early in the morning.
Is it just me, or
you and Jana, the one of the owners, down in the kitchen area?
So Rodney hasn't.
Rodney hasn't come in, though.
Right, worth noting. Good, but concerning, which is a strong emotion to have. Ram had prepared a kind of like how to explain that. I'm glad you're here, but I don't want to patronize you. But then just like, so his speech just kind of floats away when it comes time for breakfast be prepared. I'm making a mixture of stuff, and also I want to impress Perry with my cooking once. So again, I don't think I can make a cheesecake, but the most sugary. Like, basically, I think I inadvertently invent a type of cereal where I'm just like the most sugary, like, oh god, we're back to Mr. Kellogg again. Basically I invented an incredibly sugary cereal, which is various corn and flakes, and also just marshmallows. Is it okay, Josh, because usually I can do the chef thing for 2 people. Can I do it for free? Just because I've spent a bit more time. Yeah. So that means everybody who's going to eat my delicious meal will be able to have 2 temporary hit points.
Nice.
And if you're going to take the food, if you have a short rest, you can add an extra D8 for free. So, yeah.
Nice.
Very good, very good, very good. Now, I know Perry...
Is it all sugar?
No, I've separated it off. Again, like, because I also know Sunny's here as well, isn't it? Yeah, so also healthy kid breakfast as well, but still leaving some cereal. Pancakes, probably, stuff that... because we got most of the food out of the mercenary stuff, so using that up. Ignore some of the stuff that got a bit burnt, but yeah.
Has a bit of flavour.
A bit of flavour. Did we rescue the rainbow milk?
Yes, rainbow milk was rescued.
Good.
It was in the chiller. The chiller and the safe were the only things on the surface that were not destroyed, as well as its contents.
Because
both their contents.
The freezer was sealed. Has that now people working on the?
Yeah, that had been cleared and opened up, and the rainbow milk was retrieved.
Good.
As well as some other things, as well as how Elodie was able to get to the Aether. So
I think I put milk out, but I'm also like, she might just have rainbow milk in her cereal. So just...
very good idea, actually.
Yeah.
As you're preparing breakfast, and as anybody else who wants to come down at this time, because we know that there's some late risers in the group, come down, you hear the door open and the sounds of hooves on floor as Greta walks in with Oro, her little boy, and they take up a seat in one of the booths next to Sunny and Johanna. Sunny has taken this opportunity to, on the way down the stairs, has given Hera a kiss on the cheek and has run to Johanna, because Johanna's an older child and is really cool. And then when Oro comes, who's slightly younger, they are just all sitting, chatting with each other at the table, and Greta sort of sits with them.
I was going to say, so I've woken up early to do some calisthenics, and I've come down firmly, like, using Sunny as, like, my comfort plush kind of things. Like, I've had a bad dream. She was involved in it. And then I was, like, seeing the kids already there, and I'm like, fine, go play. It's okay.
Thanks. Right. Oh, Johanna, I got something I want to show you. Runs over and sits at the table. And little Oro comes over and sits as well. And he's like, Sunny, hi Sunny. Yeah. Oh, Mum came home. Mum bought me something really cool. Look what she got me. And he pulls out this strange wooden contraption. He's like, look what it does. He twists it and opens it. And you can see that it is a wooden, one half of it looks like a little dish and the other half's got like loads of little spikes in it. And he picks a leaf up off of his boot and puts it in and he starts grinding it. This was my mum's really long time ago. And look what it does. And grinds. It's like, shows it to you. And the leaf inside is now mush. Really, and not to you, sorry, shows it to Sunny. So, oh, that's well cool. Oh, you can make really cool paints with that. Oh, yeah, we could do that. That could be well. Should we take it to school and do it at playtime? Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'm just going to look at Greta. Greta, it's not even about Bram. It's parent to parent, just acknowledgement.
She nods at you as you look at her, and she gets up out of her seat and makes her way over to where breakfast is being prepared. It's one of those help yourself sort of breakfast. She stops when she sees Bram behind the counter, puts her head down and just plates up some food for herself and Oro, and then walks back to the table without saying anything.
Bram looks and he's sort of inadvertent, like burned himself on the kitchen. He's like, oh, shouldn't touch that. Runs under the cold water. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's beautiful. Nothing hurts.
Elodie and Perry, you're both in the same room. Would you have both be awake at this point with the smell of food wafting in?
Well, you go first, Perry.
I was going to say Perry is not an early riser, despite the fact that it's only a trance. It is not actual sleep. Until someone kicks them, probably asleep until at least 11.
Sure. Okay. Elodie is early riser, probably would have heard people getting up and clunking around downstairs and like not wanting to interrupt breakfast. Would have probably grabbed some pages because I've not got another book. I've just got my fairy tales book. Perry's obviously got Perry's journals, but I'm assuming there's like access to sheets of paper.
Yeah,
like because I've got my notes, haven't I? Yeah.
Yeah. Or any notes that and I think from memory, when you went up into the room, you had put some of your notes within that book that you had. Book. Yeah, and the fairy tale book was somehow protected from the fire, and then you were able to get that out. So you've got all of your notes, but any other books and things that you had that weren't the fairy tale book were destroyed in the fire.
Yeah. I think, yeah, actually, there's a mix of like her initial instinct is to write up more notes to cover like what else we've learnt. And then there's been so much going on. I think it just occurs to her now to actually look at her fairy tale book and sort of traces the pattern on the cover. Can I cast Identify on it, please?
You can indeed, yes.
I do so. I ritual cast it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's not a conscious thing. It takes the 10 minutes of her just sitting there considering, you should have burned. What are you? And it's sort of looking at the others around the room.
The others don't really understand it themselves. But as you cast Identify and that sort of magical aura emanates from it, it's not a spell per se, as in a D&D spell, but there is a protective ward on this book. And as you cast Identify, the glyphs and the runes that make up this ward appear. And instinctively, you drop the book on the floor as you recognise the handwriting of the little accents and little swirls and things of the runes as your mother's.
None of you know anything about this.
You get a sense of confusion from all of the sources within you. It's like a wave. One gives you confusion, the other one gives you more confusion, and the other one gives you more confusion. And it's
okay.
overpowering.
I understand. I just thought these are These are your stories. Oh, I don't know. We'll sort of clock Perry still sleeping, but at this point, like, it's starting to get hungry. So we'll go and prod Perry. I think
The trials.
Oh. I think there's food.
What?
Would you like more sleep? I'm very hungry. I'm going to go eat food.
Wipe stool. No. Before you go, yeah. I'll nap a little bit more. I'll hit the snooze. I need you to train me on how to science. And do you know how to use a bow? My life depends on it.
I do. Yes.
Good.
The science bit has taken many years of study.
Luckily, I'm amazing, so I'll be able to absorb it like that.
Okay. Not right now though. You're going to nap first.
No, I'm gonna hit the snooze, but my life depends on it. We'll circle back to it. Okay, goodbye.
Okay. We'll need a
Knuckles back down.
We'll need a bow first. I don't have one. Okay. I'll bring you up a plate. And we'll... Okay.
The trials.
Why are
Will...
their eyes?
We'll tuck the fairy tale book in backpack and keep backpack on her, and then head downstairs.
You head downstairs. You can see this very awkward scene between Greta and Bram as you get to the bottom of the stairs and Hera's standing around like, I don't know where to look.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. We got a range of foods. Help yourself, or if there's anything in particular, I can scramble up for you if you like.
Oh, this smells delicious. Did you make this, Bram?
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah.
This is wonderful. How come you've not been helping Rodney so far?
I have. I guess you just haven't.
I've been very focused on my science, clearly.
No, you were in the corner, sort of like a bit grayed.
Just
out.
slightly phased out. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that is right.
No.
You did help. Okay. Yeah.
But
It's hard to remember what the kitchen looks like after it's all burnt down.
yeah, there was a movable bit in the middle. No. Speaking of, he doesn't seem to have come in this morning. We probably should go.
No, I want to go check in on him.
No, yeah. I sort of kind of leaning over the breakfast bar a bit. Like I did see him yesterday. His wounds getting worse. The infections spreading.
Oh gosh, and has Carden been to see him about this? Oh no, Carden has.
Yeah,
Warders,
Carden's. Carden had a word.
I have an
Yes.
important question, Tom.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember.
Hmm.
Has Bram told the rest of us the exact nature of your relationship with Greta? Or was she just a
No.
person you were interested in checking in with once she got back?
Bram hasn't been subtle about his concern, but he's been trying to cover it, being like, he hasn't come out and said that was my... Yes, because he hasn't really also... That said, you do know, because you've seen the photograph of the last mercenary group, so you know that our parents definitely knew each other.
I don't know Greta's surname, I just know she's called Greta.
That's actually a good point, yeah. Okay, then, you're not...
Okay, great.
Yeah.
In that case, Elodie is like, Carden said that. Greta's back now, so maybe she should have a look at him. Shh, I need to have a word with her as well.
No, you go. Greta's good at what she does. No, you go.
Greta, good morning. Sorry, I hadn't spotted you over there.
Bram is going to do his best. I'm going to roll stealth with disadvantage as Bram attempts to duck down and disappear.
Okay. Why are we keeping secrets? This is so obvious to work out.
Two. That's still very much there.
You
As he
bang
tries
your
to
head. You bang your head on the counter as you try to hide.
Oh no!
Make a
What are
loud
you
noise.
doing?
I dropped something. I pick
do you
up.
need a
whatever-
hand?
No,
There's
it's
nothing down here, Bram.
No, I think it rolled. I'll pick it up later. Yeah,
I can have a look.
No, thanks. As I kind of I'm standing up and looking at Greta, and then I'm just like,
What was it that you dropped?
it was a bit of food. Have you met Elodie.
He is usually a lot more focused than this. He has been doing well. This is Elodie. She is very smart and...
Hello.
Greta does that whole NPC thing in video games where they could have the conversation with you from the point that they're standing at, but she walks all the way around to get in front of you before she says anything, purposely having her back towards Bram. Hi, yes, my name is Greta. Greta Lighttooth. I run the Lighttooth.
Lighttooth.
I run Lighttooth herbs and brain just left me. Herbs and what's the other word?
Sundries.
Poultices. Herbs and poultices.
Yes, I believe we have a lot to talk about. Actually, I dabble in alchemy myself.
Oh, interesting. I'm always intrigued to see new people who dabble in. What sort of level are you at, do you think?
Mixed. In fact, there's some things just kind of clocking that there are children in the room. There's some elements of it I would be keen to catch your ear about more privately.
Yeah, but Johanna's going to take the kids to school, so if you'd like to pop over to my shop in, say, about an hour, I would have opened up in time then, so I can certainly talk to you then.
Sounds wonderful. Oh, have you had some of this? It's really wonderful.
Yes, I have had some of it. It is very familiar.
Strange choice of words.
Yes.
Very
But,
good. How?
Oh, sorry, you go.
No.
Well, I'm going to go anyway, so
Okay.
I'm going to go start setting up the shop, so I shall see you later. She walks over to her little boy. She lifts the black hat off his head, gives him a kiss on the forehead, and then puts it back down. Now, you be good for Johanna, and make sure you hold Sonny's hand on the way up to school, okay? Okay, Mum. Right, yes. When I get home, could you do me another lute lesson, please? Yes. She looks over towards Bram. I can do that, and then she leaves.
Sonny, it's the Tchaikovsky game. Straight there, straight back, sensible stealth.
Yeah, Mum. Okay, I can do that, definitely. Yeah.
Well, she seems nice.
It's the Tchaikovsky game is a pretty game of you have one person who knows where you are, which is Johanna, and then you keep hidden from everybody else as much as you can. If another person sees you, it's bad. If the person designated loses you, you lose the game as well.
Tchaikovsky, that great genius of the battlefield. Yeah, we.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's sort of like yeah, no.
I can see a lot of references of alternative people being alternative things in this universe. They're going to go completely over my head.
We're gonna have to make a list and then just...
Make a spreadsheet for Josh.
Yeah,
please. What they originally did and what they now do in this world.
Yeah. Tchaikovsky liked cannons, which is true.
That's what I was going with it.
Music. No.
What's the opposite of loud music?
Quiet. Yes. Yeah. Oh, we have.
So
fun.
just off the back of Greta leaving, Elodie is just full on bowl full of breakfast. Just turned to Bram and just been like, "Oh, she seems very nice."
No, she's amazing. Yeah.
And her son is very cute as well.
No,
I rolled a 6 on insight.
Yeah. That's fair. As we have got Bram, again, we're talking anime with the big, watery, wobbly eyes, which suddenly just pop back into his normal black and white ones. No, he seems like a good kid. Sonny seems to like him, so I guess that's a good show of character.
She'll take care of him, don't worry. As you might tell, she knows exactly everything.
Yeah.
I rolled very.
I'm going to make an insight on 21 as I make eye contact with Hera, and basically I'm like, okay, I know that you know. Are you going to blow up my spot? You're going to... Is it secrets? I know we need to give secrets away, but are you going to tell people?
Not now, but you should, is it?
Yeah.
At some point soon.
That's a lot of eyebrow wiggling and intense staring as this conversation is
I'm just eating my eggs, man.
expressed.
They're good. They're good eggs.
Thank you, Dex.
Will once have eaten breakfast, I will not leave the tavern without going to prod Perry and saying, like, I'm going to go speak to Greta. Do you want to come? Wake up.
Who's Greta?
Greta Lighthoof. The Caprician?
Capra.
The Capra lady that did all the stealthing last night, but she's an apothecary. She might be able to help with this.
Oh, with your
Apothecary.
hand.
Yes.
Sure. Just give me 15 minutes.
As you open your eyes, Perry, you can't see anything.
Whoa, I'm blind.
Are you sure that you're just a little sleepy still?
I can't see anything. How am I supposed to read without eyesight?
I'm gonna stare at, look at Perry. Can I make a med? Is she okay?
You can
Do I
make a
have a
medicine
hat
check,
on?
Roll to see if she's got her eyes open.
I rolled a 5. I need to stop rolling this dice.
Is
I
she
rolled a
having
5.
I mean,
What's going on?
Perry's eyes are open, but there's no discoloration to her eyes or anything. But for Perry, everything's completely black. Bram,
Hello.
you've not seen Hawthorne all morning
No.
at all.
Hawthorne on my head.
Yes. Hawthorne has crawled into the room and has rolled up and fallen asleep on your face.
I was closest. It's on their face.
Feeling like, oh, Fluffy. Hawthorne, you son of a bitch.
And then
Who
just disappears.
Oh, the Brahms fox.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You can see.
Bra- Yeah, it's sleeping on my face.
Oh, that sounds uncomfortable.
It was actually pretty warm.
Yeah, you can
You
feel
know,
the warmth from it. You couldn't feel any weight or anything from it, though, or any, like, fur up the nostrils or anything. Hawthorne has this thing of only wanting to be felt when they want to.
You know,
Consent is important.
I do have to wonder. I don't imagine Hawthorne sleeps, so I think she did it just to fuck with me.
She just sat on your head.
Made me think I was blind, yeah.
Okay. But you can see now.
I can see now, right, Josh?
Yes, you can see now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Just
You
checking.
still haven't opened your eyes. I'm still like, oh.
Make me a perception check. No, natural one. Your eyes are not open. No, you're fine. You can see.
Shall we, then?
Yeah, do you mind if I just drop in on Lila quickly, just to have a quick look, because I wasn't up there yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Hira and I were going to visit her, actually, anyway. We did a little, I don't know, healing thing yesterday that Thaddeus said would help. So we should do that before we leave. Hira,
Mm.
do you want to help Lila again?
Brief moment of existential crisis. Yes, absolutely. Let's go do this thing.
Great, girls' trip to the infirmary.
Well, no, she's just
she's
done
just
the
in the
whole-
same.
It's just the other room. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically an infirmary.
Yeah, when you go in there, it's basically set up like an infirmary. There's a liquid pouch that's been set up. There's some tubes that have fed into Lila's arm to feed her fluids. Tally is asleep, sat at her bedside holding her hand. As you walk into the room, she wakes up. She's like, oh, is it morning already? Oh, there's so much I needed to do. I'm so sorry. Oh, I look like I haven't. Oh, is it
Tally,
really?
you look fine.
Okay.
You look fine. Did you sleep okay?
As well as I could do, yeah. This sort of thing's happened before, but this time it's got me really worried, so I don't really want to leave Liz's side.
Well, Hira and I were going to look after her and Perry, so if you want to go get some breakfast, there's plenty downstairs. Sorry, Perry.
Just one moment. So, Tally, good to see you again. I had a chat with your Aunt Peripatea last night.
Did you? And you can see sitting in the corner in the exact same position that he was in last night is Solomon. Doesn't look like he
Of
slept a
course.
wink either.
And you, Solomon, she did not appreciate the journals being hidden, by the way.
I had a feeling that she might find out about that. Makes
Yeah,
sense, being as it's you.
pissed. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's all right. I think we cut out there. That's fine. What did I say? Yes, it makes sense considering the fact you are the same person.
Yep. Anyway, she was quite concerned about Lila's situation and asked me to take an interest and have a look at her.
Yes, please, by all means. Both Hera and Elodie helped out massively last night. If there's anything that you could do that could potentially speed along her waking up, that would be fantastic.
I'm contemplating if I trust Solomon not to lie to me if I ask directly about Dragon Blood. But probably wouldn't tell me in front of people anyway.
You can make an insight check if you like.
Yeah, I'll make an insight check.
I'm gonna get started with my hands while we're waiting for this.
Yeah.
I got a nat 20 for 23.
Boosh.
You feel, looking at him, that his primary concern at the moment is Lila. And if he was to lie to you now, he's a dick.
That wouldn't be inconsistent with his character so far.
But if he was to lie to you now, it would go against his. You feel that it would go against his. What's the word I'm thinking of?
If you're asking specifically about Lila, he wouldn't lie in this moment.
Yes,
because he wants
that's
to
what I'm trying to say. Thank
He
you very
has
much.
also promised to be more open with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So we'll kind of go next to Solomon and just be like, so when I was speaking to Dragon Perry, they insinuated that Lila may have dragon blood and that there was one more likely source than others of where you may have acquired said blood. Hint, hint. Anything you want to tell me?
Yes, from yourself. If I'm being honest, I will be 100% honest with you. You donated blood, not to Lila specifically, because Lila wasn't born when you were your dragonkin self, but more you had allowed your blood to be, and this is your words, not mine, harvested in order to try and to use it to experiment with Aether and how it works with different species blood. Yours being the dragonkin, mine was used as dwarven blood, human blood, fiend fallen blood, and so on and so forth. So when it came to Lila needing a transfusion, I still had your blood on storage from all that time ago. And I know that we discovered that draconic blood has healing properties.
But we didn't look into the long-term side effects, I'm guessing.
No. I was concerned that my teenage granddaughter was going to die due to a fatal stab wound to the chest.
Now we know, don't use blood that's been in storage for 20 years.
Or at least know what the ramifications are of using it.
Considering that I need to learn science and I immediately came to the conclusion that was a bad idea, I'm optimistic of my chances. Okay. I say to the room, hey, she had a transfusion of dragon blood, specifically my dragon blood from previous lifetime, so hence the slumber.
Mm.
Mr. Solomon,
Yes, Elodie.
you said that previously, and again, Elodie is sort of carefully trying to remember what the others know and what she's been specifically told not to say anything about with Perry. Previously, when yourself and Kimdak tried to open that temple, you thought you knew that you needed Angel Blessed and Fiend Fallen, and one who lies between.
Which we believed was Peripatea, yes.
Right. I didn't say it. He did.
No, everyone knows that bit already. You're
okay,
fine.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
Also, if we had the blood samples, couldn't we have tested with the samples?
No. The one who lies between it needs to be the conduit of the blood for the Angel Fallen, the Angel Blessed and the Fiend Fallen. There is an aspect of it where you have to absorb both the aether and the blood of those in order to open the gate.
We go into you, you don't go into us. Which I know sounds weird when I say it out loud.
So,
Thank you.
so my question is, since you knew it wasn't Peripateia, have you had any thoughts about who it might be at all?
Peripateia was the most obvious choice because of the reincarnation aspect of their being. Somebody who's both lived life and death is the only other thing that I can think of, but there's not many people or anybody that I can think of who walks that line.
So how much of like the mythology of what an angel blessed and what a fiend fallen is would we know?
It's not something the Perry's had to think about since you've been awake, the month that you've been awake. But as you start to think on that, it's like a explosion in your brain, and all of this information just feeds into you. You know exactly what an angel blessed is. You know exactly what a fiend fallen is, even though you yourself in this current life cycle haven't experienced this. It's like, and you get this feeling that this is something that is perpetually remembered by every one of your forms. You know exactly what they are all the time. So everything that you've read in the documents that I've sent over, Perry knows.
Okay, so angel blessed are descended from the Valkyries, which were the gods above that guarded the heaven. Fiend fallen descended from the Daikuma, who were the gods below, who were the guardians of the underworld. So it makes sense that the one between would be descended from some gods that remained on this plane, the middle plane, right?
Elodie is just kind of staring and smiling at you.
I'm sorry, did I say something cute?
I mean, sort of, yes. It's just the most eloquent sentence I've heard you say this early in the morning.
I know, it's not even noon. I blame the cereal.
No, this is good. This is exciting. Okay, so someone descended from the gods. Okay, my thought originally was if Lila had somehow... If we think that the qualities of the draconic blood can be transferred, then maybe it might be that sort of thing. Like if Lila somehow had either angel blessed or fiend fallen heritage, and then or fiend fallen heritage, and then your angel blessed dragonkin blood carried the angel blessed into her. So maybe she would be the one between, but we think it is a heritage thing and not one created. Does that make sense?
There's a little ... above
I
Perry's
had a
head.
theory that maybe Lila might be the one between because of the blood transfusion, but I think from what you've just said that she is not, and this is just happening because it was Dragonkin Perry's blood. So we are
Yes.
actually looking for someone... Well, I don't know how someone would manifest.
So the hypothesis is that they are born, not made.
Yes.
In theory. I'm getting good at this.
You are.
This is very early for science, guys, I'm just going to say.
Sorry.
I'm appreciating it, but this is not my particular wheelhouse.
Or Bram, Perry, and kind of Hera. You all...
Did I go up? I think
You
they
have
said
now.
it was
You've followed
it's a
us.
girl.
You could have followed Hera.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Check in on
Yeah,
Lila.
yeah, you followed it. You followed as well, yeah, sorry. Yeah, let's bring you all together.
I think Bram is still sort of like loitering in. He still doesn't want to go into a sick
Actually,
room, but
this will make
yeah.
it funnier.
Yeah.
Bram,
Yes.
in the kitchen,
Mm.
so nobody else sees this, in the kitchen area, you watch as this dartboard just appears right next to you, and you watch as darts are thrown at it, but they just completely miss. And as you track where that's coming from, you can just see Hawthorne is just throwing darts at the board. Oh, I don't seem to be hitting the mark here, do I? Oh, yeah, you don't know what's going on upstairs, do you? Bye.
I'm sure that was a great joke, Majesty. But that won't fry these potatoes. Chop, 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 chop. I also would like to point out Bram also has healing magic, but then it's been not wanting to get involved. It's always great when someone's hey, I'm doing the Perry thing of just going, sounds great. I'm sure whatever's going on upstairs is amazing. But
You're doing something. I just happen to be in the room while the smart people talk.
And then
I'm a smart person.
You said hypothesis. Yeah.
I said hypothesis and used the word correctly. I'm gonna pass these trials. You will.
Yay.
Hawthorne appears in the room. So both Hera can see a spiritual fox, and Perry can see a full-on fox sat next to Lilla. Looks down at them, gives them a little sniff. Elodie, you can see bits of Lilla's hair sort of flickers up from the sniffing, and then Hawthorne looks at you, Perry, and goes, I mean, you're on the right track. Sort of poke that a little bit more and you might get a little bit closer.
Poke what a little bit more?
The thing that you're talking about. If you look into that a little bit more, you might hit the nail on the head.
Okay, we'll do. Any more hints you want to give us? Ethereal one?
No, it's too much. It's too much fun watching you all work it all out on your own. If I gave away all the secrets now, then what story are we going to tell? Or are you going to tell?
I would judge you for it, but in your position, I'd probably do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Plus, I've got to keep an eye on the one downstairs, and I so.
Also, what the fuck are you?
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Disappears.
Just warps right through the day.
Do Tali and Solomon know about Hawthorne?
They don't seem to have reacted, no.
Solomon, well, again, Solomon has reacted.
Solomon has reacted, but doesn't seem to be reacting to it now.
Time, yeah.
But are they reacting to Perry just talking to nothing?
That's a very good question, actually. Tally looks confused. Solomon seems to understand.
Oh, sorry, Tally, Ghost Fox, connected to Bram, comes in and gives us like little tiny hints saying you're on the right track. Occasionally, just happened. It's all good.
Oh, that's strange. Okay. There's a lot more going on with you lot than I first thought.
So much.
You
so
hear
much.
Bram call up the stairs. Hawthorne says you're missing the mark, but you're close. Don't know where she went, but
Yeah,
carry
she
on.
delivered the message. It's cool.
Cool.
Shall we, we should go speak to Greta and check in on Rodney.
I think there's some herbs, if you don't mind me following along. The Greta might can use to stabilise and just ease Lilla a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be nice. If you're looking to help Rodney, you're going to need this. And Lilla goes into her pocket, into one of her pockets. Tally. See, I get the two mixed up all the time.
Lilla sits up in bed and is like,
you'll
"What?"
need this.
I need this. Ugh.
Ugh.
Tally goes into her pocket and pulls out a ring of keys, and she unhooks one. This is the key to Goggle Springs. You'll need it to get in if you're looking to help Rodney. If there's anything that can help him, it'll be in there.
You're just going to give us the key.
Well, I mean, I trust you all. I was given the key by the owners to go in there as and when I need to. I haven't needed to. Rodney would have needed to have gone in there to get bits for the chiller, but the chiller's been perfectly fine since they've left. So
We get to poke around the gadget shop.
yes, if you want to.
Yes, please.
Take the key, give it to Elodie. Let us go. We have errands to run, and also Perry's fighting someone later.
Oh, I am. I'm also
Yes.
going to read on the way.
Errands.
If we could go direct, no stopping on the way, let's just go straight to Greta's and then straight to Rodney's afterwards. No loitering in the streets.
There is one minor loiter, and I go into the kitchens, and even as he is chopping, I pick up Bram and I take him with us.
Oh no, I'm being kidnapped again. Here I go. Throws the knife and hits the dartboard.
You'd leave the tavern. Now, Goggle Springs is 2 doors down. You could quite easily go there now if you wanted to. If you wanted to go to Lighthoof's Herbs and Poultices, it's actually at the end of this particular street, opposite the other bar that's there, which is where the Reavers had been. would go frequently.
They feel like afternoon and evening people to me, rather than early morning pub visitors.
What, the Reavers? The Reavers have been seen early in the morning when Udric and Solomon went to go pick up a newspaper. They have been seen in the town, but
that is true.
Oddly enough, no sightings of them yet. Not since the fire, anyway.
I think even though Goggle Springs is right here, and I'm incredibly tempted, given where Miss Lighthoof's shop is based, I would rather go there and get away.
It's tactical, especially since I have a feeling that you're going to spend so much time examining all of the doodads.
I mean, I could just unlock the shop if you want to go talk to Miss Lighthoof.
And go in without us.
No, I wouldn't. So like leaning over my cousin's shoulder, just so. I mean,
how long do you think it takes to unlock a door?
Oh, well, someone's got to keep an eye on things and make sure everything's... I'm rolling deception.
Look, I want to see this go down, so you got to go with the others.
I can unlock it if you want. You're welcome to go. I can just unlock and read.
No, I am making an executive decision. Ram, you are coming for resolutions. Perry, you keep wandering off out of conversations. Come join the fold.
You're not the boss of me.
I'm not the boss of you. I'm offering perspective and then apparently wanting to listen to multiple views and then make a decision.
Perry,
you're not my mum.
Do you want me to be? I don't feel qualified to be, but apparently that's what I'm doing right now. Elodie, science.
That's not a complete sentence.
I don't know what I'm doing. Come on. And I'm just going to start gathering people. Politely.
Lighthoofs.
Please, can you put me down before we get there? I think that's probably best.
I'll do it when I know you're not a running risk.
I'm not. I promise I'm not going to run.
Oh.
I promise.
Okay, until I like 3-4 doors away, and then I'll give him back his dignity.
Are you that keen to go into Goggle Springs, Brom?
Yeah. No. I'm interested in. I got an 8 on deception. Yeah, I'm interested in tech and gadgets, and
not interested in the slightest.
All right.
It's
probably better for us to go and seek medical attention for, and I have this is quite important to me, and then we need to check in on Rodney first.
Yes, no, Greta, Miss Lighthoof probably will have advice on Rodney. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm keen to tag along. I've got to see this.
See what?
You all enter into Lighthoof's herbs and poultices. You knock on the door. Door's open. You can walk straight in. It's a very basic-looking shop. There are lots of flowers and herbs all over the place. But although it looks wild, there is still some order to the shop, and you can see that there are flowers and things that are for sale on the shelves and things, but in terms of potions and all that sort of stuff, that's all kept behind the counter. And as you walk in, you can see Greta is behind the counter and seems to be mashing up some herbs or something into a large version of what Oro was using before. Has a big grinder that she's grinding down things. She lifts that out and then sprinkles some sort of like magical green stuff into it and then grinds it up again. And then she takes that out and pours that into a sort of cylinder, and she puts that cylinder on top of something, another mechanical machine, and pushes a button, and it spins it around. Blender spins it around, and she pours that out into a very ornate glass bottle, and it's a potion basically. And she sticks that on the shelf. Hello everybody. It's good to see most of you. How can I help you? I know Miss Elodie, you said you wanted to speak to me about something.
Yes. Sorry, this is wonderful. Oh, you have. I haven't seen one of those since I left. Yes. Sorry. No. Focus. Okay. Oh, you all know, it's fine. I had an encounter with some people who I believe are part of the cult of the fallen. And we'll take the glove off and show her hand and the brand on it. And everyone seems to think you might be able to help me get rid of it.
Yep, that's a symbol I definitely recognise, especially from my recent scouting mission. That's not good. I saw people with the robes with that symbol on. Yes, we need to get rid of that. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the ingredients that I need to get rid of it for you. There are a few ingredients you'll need to retrieve for me. Once you've got those, then I can make what it is to get rid of it. At the moment, I don't know how much you know about it, but looking at it, and she pulls your hand and holds your hand there, and she goes into a pouch on her pocket and she pulls out some dusted leaves, and as she moves her hands around, you watch as the leaves almost spark up with, or this dust sparks up with green energy, and she sprinkles that around, and as that touches onto the symbol lights up orange. It's warm, but it doesn't burn you. Yes, no, they are tracking you with this. That's probably why we've seen them up in the ruins, as they've tracked you to this location. A strange thing, though, why they would want you. You looks to Hera, then looks back to you. Fiend Fallen always have a physical presence about them. You can always determine who they are. But Angel Blessed do not. Does that mean you are Angel Blessed, maybe?
We'll clock eyes with Perry. We think so. We'll take the headscarf off so you can see it's dark in here, so it wouldn't be catching the sun, but yeah, you can see the gold streak in her hair.
And it doesn't tangle.
Yes, no, I've heard that about Angel Blessed. Okay, so that's why they want you then. Okay. I can put a numbing agent on it that will disrupt the magical essence of it. It won't get rid of it, but it will do for the moment. But I'm going to need some ingredients in order to make something that will actually remove this mark from you.
Can I check, Miss Lighthoof, when you left for your mission?
Yes.
It was not long before I arrived here. Did you know that the cult was already in this area?
Not before we scouted up to the top of the mountain, no.
So they arrived in the last couple of days?
Potentially, yes. I would assume so. There was a lot of moving around going when we were up there.
So they were incredibly close behind me the whole time. What ingredients do you need?
I mean, elf fruit goes into everything that we do, so that's one thing. I have an abundance of that, so that's fine. The most prevalent things I'm going to need are a herb or a flower called dragon thorn.
Dragon thorn.
Yes. The tricky thing with dragon thorn is that it only grows in an area where a dragon has died.
Okay.
I know of some locations, or at least one location where a dragon has died in the past.
Eyes clock with Perry.
I think we all know in a location where a dragon has died.
There is an abundance of dragon thorn in Kindak's lair, base at the top of the mountain.
That sort of defeats the point of getting rid of the mark, to be honest.
Yes, but there is one other location. It would require you to leave Merkstead. There is a place called Marley's Rest. It is a small island just off the coast, just off the west coast. It is rumoured that a dragon died there a long time ago, and there is a field of dragonthorn there.
Interesting.
How long is a long time ago?
Interesting.
What have you done to our dragonkin?
What happened to my sweet Nim?
How long ago is a long time ago?
40 7 years.
Where every single person here is also a pirate. What have you done?
Rumors say about maybe 200 years ago. It has to be.
I don't know why we all suddenly feel a sigh of relief. It's strange.
It has to be a full dragon that has died, not a dragonkin or anything.
I don't know why you're explaining that extra context. We weren't asking.
Well,
but
it's
okay.
just in case you wanted to go to the graveyard and see if there was any dragon thorn growing out of any of the graves of any dragonkin that have died.
Of course, that makes sense. Yeah.
We flash back 50 years. Bones! Many bones as we like, my hearties!
It's so pretty.
We're all wearing like dragon bone armor, and it's like, this isn't sacrilegious at all.
This isn't one of my ancestors.
Yes, if you could go get some of that for me, that would be.
Yes.
That's one of the ingredients. The other ingredient that I need is even more difficult to get.
Really?
Yes, it is. It is called emerald seaweed. You can only get it at the deepest depths of the shallows.
Oh, well, surely that's still quite shallow. They're called shallows.
It still goes quite deep down. There's also the drowners you have to contend with.
Yes.
But if you can get some of that and some of the dragonthorn, then that will be that with the elf root and some of my magic will be enough to fully remove that mark without leaving a scar.
May I whisper to Elodie very quickly?
Yes?
Remember the market I found underneath the town? Black market herbs, maybe.
That might be worth. Yes. Good thinking. Good thinking.
I'm so smart today.
That being said, I was already thinking that maybe I should leave town. Anyway.
Why would you do that? You seem to be hunted at the moment, and I know not all of you were here that were present in the meeting yesterday, but you seem to have a good group of people around you. I wouldn't leave that.
My presence here would only bring them danger, and if the goal is to stop Kimdak, then and the cult from doing whatever they need, then what better to do than to remove one of the ingredients?
And if you were to leave the group, what would stop them from taking you? You've got no protection, no friends around you. If you leave on your own, they could take you, and if you are angel blessed, you've fed right into their agenda. You have mostly good people here.
It feels too close.
Greta, can you do me a favour and go into a different room and yell at Brown for a bit? I need to talk to Zing and Perry.
Looks to Bram.
Hear.
Looks to Bram. I think we need to have this conversation, don't you? I didn't hear a word of what you just said. You need to speak to me.
I said, yes, I think we need to talk this through.
Let's allow your friends some privacy for the moment. Follow me. And she walks to the front door. She puts the close sign up. She leads all of you into the back room area. And then she opens a door that has some stairs that lead upstairs. We're going upstairs. She takes you upstairs, Bram, and leaves the rest of you in the storeroom. Out the back.
Why would she need to yell at Bram?
They have history.
Oh.
He'll talk about it in due time.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
A smart person, you can be really dumb.
For a dumb person, you can be very smart.
Thank you.
Wait. Oh. I've had a big day. It's only morning.
Sit down. You are not a danger to the rest of us.
Additionally, if you run away, how am I supposed to... I mean, I'm just going to come with you. I'm protecting you. You have my secrets. We have a pinky promise. You're stuck with me.
That is true. But doesn't it make sense? I suppose they have a list. They have a list of names.
If you escape, all you'll be doing is putting someone else in danger who would not necessarily be able to defend themselves.
Minerva's not the only one on that list.
Hera doesn't know that.
I don't know the connection. I know that when the name was mentioned, you flinched. I am now watching you to see if you flinch again. I could be entirely wrong.
Sure.
That's what's happening. So
roll an anti-flinch roll.
What that reaction is.
Sure.
I might roll an anti-flinch as well. Not a flinch, an anti gives it away with the nervous giggle.
Only because she's concerned about a list, she flinched at a name and I'm working out who that is.
What's your insight?
Maybe, I rolled a 21.
Yeah, no, I rolled an 11. You totally see, as soon as you say Minerva, you just get a... What? How did you... Well, I was going to ask Greta if they thought it was those specific people, or it could be anyone, any angel blessed, and it seemed to be that, it would be good for me to not be near them anyway, just in case they don't get this Minerva person.
So I rolled for anti-giggle. I actually rolled a 1. So I probably go, oh, isn't that... Isn't that funny? Funny name.
I wasn't sure what exactly the connection was, but that does make it easier.
What?
They are some very evil people. They will find you and hunt you down no matter where you go. Staying here with those who want to help already, who already believe in you, by your side. But you will do. Being on your own is a liability. Being in a team who trusts and supports. Looks like I'm such a fucking hypocrite.
Why?
You're not the only one on the list. One of the names is mine.
Xenia.
Vaseline.
Yes. Xenia, not the other one.
What is Vaseline in this world? What did they create?
What is petroleum made out of in this world? Ether.
Ether. You're just rubbing ether on yourself.
I want to eat it. Anyway.
You could have a tub of...
Oh, that made me laugh. Oh.
That is for payoff, folks.
Don't you see this is even stranger that Solomon has somehow managed to bring us all together? Did he know about that list?
Luckily, he doesn't seem to be in a position to continue to lie. So, I think we can probably question this, because I don't think we got around to him actually answering the why us, why now question.
Well, according to Brown, there may be connections with many of us to The old group.
I don't recognize anyone in that photo. I don't
Whether
know what
us-
photo is. That portrait.
I mean, you're smart. Maybe you've read something. You had a teacher who had taught someone. I don't know what.
Well, the Professor Guile, that is part of the Cult of the Fallen, was my teacher. He taught me how to do the magic that I can do. The one that's here. The one that followed me here.
That seems to be a common theme. My brother's here, the other one's coming. Which is the reason that I need you to say.
Your brother. But in everything, that is a good point. Kimdak called you a harbinger.
I've mentioned that I'm from the Imperium.
Oh.
I am the Imperium. The Imperium. The will of the Emperor is fed out to the world through the hands of his foremost loyal and willing subjects. I need you to stay because I need Perry to stay. Because Perry is the only one I can trust to kill me. If they... I am the harbinger of death. The inevitable. The Emperor's events. Or was. I am not a good person.
You're a little shorter than I thought from stories.
Also, a little bit fucked up that you're having a good relationship with me so I can murder you if I need to. I'm just saying that's not a great foundation for a positive relationship.
A quick death is a good thing. The worst is to suffer. There is a reason that I am not my siblings.
But you do good. You do healing. You protect. That's not who you are.
But it was who I was, at least, and who I might be again. They have a way of getting in your brain.
Have you considered just not?
Every single day of my existence is very much trying to not.
You've been doing great in the month I've known you.
Thank you. That is actually very much appreciated.
For the most part, you're still a bit of a dick sometimes.
Oh.
But you're working on it.
I feel that is just my inherent personality, but I wouldn't know anything else.
Sonny loves you.
I killed Sonny's parents.
Oh. Okay.
Not directly, but still.
Oh, okay. You should really, really clarify that.
Yeah.
And I was going to directly.
But not you now.
Me now is that they have her mother, who did not die.
So you led to the death of her father, but her mother is still alive.
We thought I led to the death of her entire town. And again, I am a monster.
Lila told me I would be safe here.
Mm.
To be fair, Lila didn't know that Vaseline was here when she invited you over.
But she knew what was going on with the Reavers. Not everything that we know now, not all of that, but the fact that they were dangerous and had killed people and were... She knew, I don't know, something about ether, and she was sent you remember what Solomon said? She was sent to look for someone like me. She didn't know it was me, but she was sent to look for me.
Is it safer to live one's life not knowing the danger one lives in? Or to be actively exposed to it, but with people who are also aware and can work with you and protect you?
I suppose I grew up for a very long time not knowing the danger I could be to other people. And that has led me here. So I suppose knowing, well, I don't know if it would have helped at all. It just seems a lot. She's just like fully slumped on the counter.
While all of that's happening.
Oh,
No, you go, Perry.
there was just one final thing, which was I'm just going to kind of go close to Hera. Like, so, thank you for your confession. Judging by what a terrible monster you seem to think you are, I just want to let you know that if I do get even the hint of a bad vibe, I will not hesitate to take you out. And if I see you have any designs on using my corpse to start a rising or other cataclysmic event, I cannot be held responsible for my actions. Am I clear?
The second one is not necessarily my wheelhouse.
It was highly specific.
But I'm just gonna take her hands. I don't touch people. Taking hands, just going, thank you. It means a lot.
Good. And please do not return the favor.
Oh, would not dream of it.
Excellent. I'm glad we have an accord. Okay, Elodie, you're having a bad day. Read this.
Really?
Just the first 20 pages. That's as far as I've gotten.
Okay, and what should I do for the rest of the time while waiting for Brahm to come back down?
Oh my god. I don't know. Reread it. Twiddle your thumbs. Do mathematical formulas.
It's a riddle. Look at that.
Going upstairs, as going back in time just slightly, as you are led upstairs, Bram, you are in Bretta's apartment above the apartment/flat above the shop. And she gestures for you to sit down at a table in the dining area. It's got one of those sort of open plan kitchen sort of things, and she pours a hot beverage. No, she doesn't throw it on you. And she just walks over and pops the cup down in front of you, and then sits down opposite you and just looks at you. Did it hurt?
Dying.
Is that what happened? I saw you fall off the cliff.
He put a knife in my chest and
That's
rolled
all.
me into, and then a lot of it's foggy. Really, what I remember is hitting the water, and then next thing I know, I'm being dragged out of the ocean by fishermen. I think the drowners tried to take a nibble. And
Solomon said that you had some memory loss.
yeah, no,
You don't remember being here before?
No, that was, I only got that back when I saw Kimdak. I spent I spent my years looking for you. Where I knew you were, I did some stuff. I did some not good stuff. I ended up in Grimport. Finally, I was able to get information that Solomon said he was here and that you were here, and I sailed down. And I didn't know. I didn't know where you were, and I looked. I did. I know it doesn't matter, but I did try. That's not going to fix anything, but I did try.
There's part of me that doesn't want to forgive you, but also part of me that knows that you can't help what happened to you.
No, I understand, and I'm going to be honest, Miss Lighthoof.
Why are you calling me that, you idiot?
Gritty.
Brambles. She holds her hands out to hold yours.
Put the cup down and holding her hands. Just. I know it's. What? It's on you. I'll go if you want me to go, and I'll stay if you want me. I want to stay, and I want to help, and I want to meet. I want to meet the boy, but I understand that's not my choice. I understand you're angry, and
You've pieced together that he's yours, then.
it's assumptive, but he's wearing the hat. He's got that look in his eyes as well. That
She lets go of your hand and she gets up and she walks out of the room.
yeah.
And a few moments later, she comes back and she's holding a very familiar lute in her hands. And she places it on the table. You can see that where it had been slightly damaged, it's been fully repaired. She places it on the table. He plays this every night. I teach him what I can. I wasn't a master at it like your father was, but I've taught him what I can, and I think in time, I think he'd appreciate learning from his father.
I'd like that.
But you need to understand that you need to take this slow. I've never spoken to him about you at all. He knows about his grandparents and he's asked about you, and I've not really had the heart to tell him. I didn't want to see him go through what I saw you go through and what I've been through with my parents, although I was a lot older than what you were.
No, I understand, and I'm really sorry to hear that. They were good people. As I say, it's your choice. Great. I'd like to meet him. What's he like?
Do you remember how we used to be when we used to play fight with the swords? And I used to call myself. What did I used to call myself? It was something silly. Something Lord. I can't remember what it was.
Lord the champ. Oh, it was your knight. Yeah.
Yeah, I was Lord something or other. Lord Onion Knight or something.
The Onion Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever it was. And I used to donk you on the head with the toy swords and everything, and I'd save you from the towers.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like both of us, as you would expect.
Lucky kid.
He's definitely got your heart.
I don't know if that's a good thing, Grit. My heart's the thing that got me killed.
But it's what makes you who you are, though. And if he grows up to be anything like you, then this world's going to be better for it. I can't stay mad at you. You know that. But this and him is going to take time.
Of course.
Help your friends out.
Yeah.
Do what they seem to be going through a lot themselves at the moment. Help them out.
I need Elegy to know that we care about her and that we're not going to leave her. Yeah, it's a lot.
Sort out your demons or whatever it is you have going on.
Eyes flick down to the corner and flick back again, and just like, okay, she hasn't reacted to that. Cool.
No, I've noticed there are things that are different about you.
You can't see sort of gesture. Nothing there, right?
What do you mean?
Good. That's fine.
I'm talking about the eyes. I can see your eyes are different.
Yeah, the eyes. Yeah, no, that was the effect of whatever happened.
Get that sorted, and then we'll talk.
Okay. Sure.
Feel free to finish your drink up, and
Thank you.
And for the rest of that time, you can she'll just sit in silence and won't really say anything to you.
I am just running my broken hand over the strings quietly.
It's in tune.
Yeah. Right. Having finished, I'm so happy that you're all right. Well, under the circumstances, and I was going to play big damn heroes and come find you, but you're the one who got me out of the tower.
I'm happy that you're alive.
Question mark.
Question mark.
Yeah, let's work with that. Yeah. I think we need to. Rodney. We're looking into the his bite. It's getting worse.
Oh, I have something in the shop for that. It does. Yeah. It's the same sort of thing that I've put on. I can put on Elodie's hand a numbing agent. It will stop the magical infection from spreading, but it won't. Oh. It won't heal it. So I can provide you with some of that. Oh, it's for Rodney, so you can have it for free.
Oh, thank you.
The same for Miss Elodie. She can have hers for free as well.
No, she's good. Yeah. No, we're gonna she's gonna reopen Gargoyle Springs. It seems mechanisms and gadgets.
Good luck.
Well, yeah. Thank you. Just thank you.
She gets up and takes your cup, and she just places a hand on your shoulder, and then she walks to the kitchen and basically leaves it for you to go downstairs.
All right. Let's go save the world.
Yeah, you all reconvene downstairs outside the front of the shop. Greta comes down and she puts the numbing agent on Elodie's hand. Elodie, you can feel like a weight has been lessened on you, not fully lifted, but lessened. And she provides you with another bottle of it for Rodney. If Rodney's contraption stopped working not long after the fire happened, then the infection itself should take about 5 days for it to spread, so you'll have a little bit of time. If you go to Goggle Springs now, there may be some more of those leg pieces, or at least the component that goes into the leg that prevents the thing from spreading around him. So I reckon that'll be your best bet before going to him.
Right. Good. Have I seen how his leg works enough to know exactly what component she's talking about?
Yes, because he would have shown you at one point. He did say about showing you it, yes.
Yeah, I was curious.
Yeah, you would know that it's like a... So when he hasn't got it on, you can see right inside his leg. You can see the bone and everything like that. And the bit that you need is like almost like one of those really tiny batteries that you can find, not like the ones you get in watches, but like the two-pronged batteries that aren't AA, AAA or anything like that. I know what I'm talking about, but you need like one of those, and it has like a little ball in the middle that lights up with magic, and that goes into the center of the bone of his leg. And then you put the plate over the top of it, because the bone of his leg has got all of these wires that come out of it through metal brackets and things that have been placed within his leg. And those wires feed into the tunnel of the calf of his leg, which is all metallic now, and with basically flesh pulled over it. And that powers this thing up, which basically holds the infection at bay, but doesn't heal it. Doesn't seem to be a cure for the infection.
Right. No, that's great tip. Let's thank you ever so much for all of this. This is incredibly helpful. I look forward to talking about all of this with you much more at a future date, but we should really go see if we can find that now.
Okay, I will see you all soon.
On a final thought, I should probably just because of what you said, Perry, I am been experimenting with getting some of the stuff back, but in a good way. So don't kill me for that.
Sorry, experimenting with what?
Magic. And an amulet. It's a learning process.
Have you been touching that amulet that knocked you out?
It's not been. I've been working on it. It might be good to have an observer, though.
I would like to watch.
Cool. And also, look, I know I accidentally revealed yours to other people. No sharing of secrets outside of this, please. He knows. Please.
Agreed.
Thank you. And then just
Obviously
carry
it's-
on walking.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You make your.
I take my
I
foot
think
back.
just
Yeah.
while they've been having that, Bram had a really very quick thing with just going, I'll explain later, but if you see my mother, something's gone wrong with her. I don't think she's herself. I'll talk to you later. But
Okay. I've not,
don't let her in the house. Don't let her near the boy. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Not worrying. You all leave. You head down to Goggle Springs. You unlock the door, and it opens. Dust sort of billows out and sort of sprays you in the face as it sort of kicks up from the ground, sending you all to cough. And as you walk into the shop, I mean, Elodie. Come on, Elodie. This is like walking into, for us, walking into Disneyland. There is so much stuff on the shelves. All of it is absolutely caked in dust. There are contraptions. There's this strange arm appendage that you can attach to, like an artificial arm that you can attach to. Brain just left me. Basically, there's an artificial arm there.
Sure.
Yeah. There are some really funky looking boots. There are pouches and other mechanical things. There's just so much here. You thought when you looked on the shelves that the shop was empty, but as you get deeper into the shop, it's not. There's everything's just been left here. It's like the people who ran this place just up and left. Just left it all.
It just keeps going and going and going.
It does seem bigger on the inside. I will admit that. Slightly
Close the
bigger.
front door. We don't want the Reavers to know that this place is open and
I
accessible.
say, you would have thought they would have raided this place by now, but I guess the dust was deep. But
I'll just have a little look over the key. Does it look like there might be a magical ward on the key? Like
I was going to say that I'd
key?
like an Arcana check from you, please.
Absolutely. No. Okay, yeah, not that D20. You've been betraying me today.
treason.
Nat 20. For a 26.
As you unlock the door, you felt a warmth from the key, and you, for a second, you thought it was the mark on your hand, but then you realised that you're turning the key with the hand that the mark isn't on.
Right hand.
And as you click it, you just spot, just on the other side of the door, there are these veins in the door that travel up. And as you go into the shop, you can see that these veins that go from the lock, and they travel up and into the different corners of the room. And each of the corners of the room have got this little flickering light that just flickers every time one of you, like a motion sensor, every time one of you moves in there. But because there isn't anything connecting the magic to the doors, it hasn't triggered because you've unlocked it with the key. It's basically like turning the alarm system off without having to rush to put the code in.
I'm very glad that Tali gave us the key to this place rather than us just trying to break in. Right. We should look for, and we'll re-describe what Greta said and start hunting around. She's probably just grabbed just a little doodad, little stone or something, and focused on the stone, and has gone to prick her finger because that's how she's done the magic before. And then takes a moment and just thinks about it instead, and just traces the sigil without it being in blood, and the stone lights up. And we'll use it as a little torch to go around.
Use it as a torch to go around, and there are plenty of things around you. The first place you would all go to look is at the counter, And going behind it, not going to make you roll any checks for it, you find a very dusty book behind. As you open it and flick it through, it's a list of inventory items. Lists everything that is in the shop, and it doesn't take you long to find the thing that Greta had described, because there's little pictures next to all of them, and you find it, and it is on shelf C4.
Shelf C4. Could someone go grab that? I just want to have a flick through. I would love to flick through this and see if I can recognize names of any of Kimdak or any of the Reavers that I know about. Have they bought anything in here?
Okay, so you've got, I would say, Bram is the closest to C4. So Bram, you can...
Bram rolls off down to C4.
Yeah.
Hera puts this back then, I guess.
No, Hera has got C4. And he's like, we can blow things up with this.
This? Wrong C4. The first thing, you begin flicking through to see like a client list, which is quite easy to find within this book. It's listed in here. And you can see that there is a note saying that we do not do business with Reavers. And then there's a symbol of a sparrow next to it.
Yay.
Good. All right. That's a relief. At least we know that the inventory here is safe for the meantime. Oh, I'm excited to have a look around here. Hera, I suppose I could be persuaded to stick around a little longer. I mean, after all, I could very well just stay in here and be safe from anyone who doesn't have the key.
I sort of leave that. Well, is your shop technically does belong to you? Someone's got to keep an eye on it.
Wow.
Well,
I think you'll find it's my shop. And you hear creaking stairs as somebody walks into the room. Sort of one eye is sort of proper like Popeye style closed up with a walking stick. You see an elderly dwarven woman with, not on the sort of mountain dwarf side, but more on the thinner, shorter dwarven side, like a clockwork dwarf. Long pink hair into big ponytails with greying streaks going all the way up them. I think you'll find a wooden leg. And as Bram goes to pick up one of the batteries, you watch she puts her arm out and it extends outwards. You can see that there is like basically like Inspector Gadget grabs the item off of you and pulls it back. What are you doing in my shop?
I'm so sorry. We were told that it was unoccupied and Ms. Goggle Springs was away, and we needed that for Rodney. And
Rodders?
We're also with the sparrows.
Oh, the sparrows. Yes, that's something that my granddaughter's involved with. Yeah, right. No, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, she moves along.
Been here this whole time.
I've been working downstairs. I need some bloody peace and quiet with all the racket going on up here. As soon as you walked in, it was like bloody hammer and nails in my ears.
Sorry about that.
I'm pretty sure nobody in this town knows you're alive, by the way.
That's how I like it.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Hey, what is your name? Sorry.
It's Agnes. Agnes Gogglespring.
Oh, okay. With granddaughter Agatha.
My granddaughter is Agatha Gogglespring. That is correct.
Okay. There's a lot of parents that like naming their children pretty much the same name as them in this town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a thing, but yeah. Anyway, so you're with the sparrows, are you? Right. Well, I'm guessing young Tally gave you the key to get in here.
She did. Yes, although if we'd have known you were in here, we absolutely would have knocked. I'm so sorry.
Oh, she didn't know I was in here either, to be fair. I've been working on stuff downstairs. Well, take whatever it is you need. Hand extends out and passes it to you. And then you can, fuck off.
Oh.
Have you been working on anything fun?
Been working on what?
Anything fun?
Always working on fun things, dearie.
Can I see?
I suppose I could show you. I haven't had a chance to show anybody yet. Want to follow me?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Getting
Unless you
into
want to come?
science. Yeah, no, I'd be interested to see what you're working on.
We'll make sure the front door is relocked.
Yeah, front door's relocked. You watch as the magical sort of ward reapplies itself. And you can see that it goes around the frames of the windows and everything as well. And as she takes you downstairs, she takes you into a workshop area. And you can see hanging up on the on a railing type thing, or almost like a mannequin railing type thing, is this very large suit of armor, maybe, or maybe it's parts. You're not quite sure, but as she leads you in, that's not what she's working on. What she's working on is this large sort of cylinder, and you can see next to her, bubbling away in a container, is purple liquid.
Oh,
Oh.
Mm.
Ether.
ether.
Yes, it is.
I've been able to distill it as well.
Have you been able to harness it is the question, though.
Well, not yet. I've not really had time. There's been a lot going on, but it was on the to-do list. But if you have any advice, or I would love to learn from you if you would care to teach me.
I reckon there's some downtime at some point coming up that I might be able to teach you.
That sounds capitalized and mechanical.
I mean, everything
Machines.
around here is capitalised and mechanical. So, yeah.
What does it do when you harness it?
Would you like to see?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You, big boy,
Yes, ma'am.
go stand near that armour.
Avenge my death. I just walk over, stand next to the armor.
Watch this. And you watch as she takes the cylinder and she places it into a hole that's just underneath the large container of aether, and she turns it. And as she turns it, you watch as the bubbles get more and more intense and begin to drain down. And then you hear a ding noise, and she untwists and pulls out, and you can see that there's aether bubbling up inside. And she walks over to the suit of armor behind it, and you hear her fiddling around with it, and then all of a sudden you hear a and the armor just attacks Bram, not in a it's going to kill you way, in a it attaches itself to you and just eats you. And then, I'm saying this in a really horrible way, but Bram, you just look and you can just see that there's a lens like a few inches away from your face. You're basically in Iron Man armor,
Nice.
but fantasy Iron Man armor.
You've turned me into a Cyberman.
Yeah, think of a combination of Iron Man and the Fallout armor. You're in something like that.
Impressive.
I would very much advise that you do not move in it. I have not calibrated it for human use or humanoid usage. You may break your back
I don't want
or be
that.
crushed.
Well, I'll just stand here then.
Yeah, do that, and then she pulls the thing out, and the armor deattaches from you.
Well, that was...
Still working out the kinks. It's nowhere near ready yet.
That was amazing.
Yes.
That was so cool.
It was. Yeah, I've been working on this for over 50 years.
Oh,
That's a long time.
that's taken a while.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have had any. I wouldn't have had a major breakthrough. I had a major breakthrough about, I want to say about 20 years ago. A friend of mine came in here and we were doing some experiments together, and it's when I was much younger, and showed me how to distill the aether myself. So
Listen, was this friend called Peripateia?
yeah, like to be
Okay.
called P.
Hey,
Huh. That's me.
How you don't look anything the same,
I've been reincarnated. It's a whole thing.
right?
it's like what just happened. Like P in the suit of armor walking around in this version. So,
But this is
reincarnation.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Didn't you see? We were worried about having to trawl through your journals to try and figure out how to harness the ether, but Agnes just knows. Agnes worked with you, so we can just work directly together.
I mean, we
That's
wrote
true.
it down together in a book over there.
Oh my god. Where?
It's over here. She pulls out a journal. There you go.
Oh my god. You have no idea how much I need this. Thank you so much.
That's fine, I suppose. I mean, it's got my writing in it as well.
It should still work. Long story short, I need to read journals for memories. I need to pass some trials at P-Cent. For me,
That sounds
it's
like a
a
load
whole...
of nonsense to me. I don't really care.
Yes, it is all nonsense. But I also need to learn science. And you,
Well, best
my
place
old
to learn
friend,
it.
know science.
I do. That's the best place to learn it. Just don't let anybody else get hold of it, all right?
I definitely will not. Do you have somewhere? Do you have like, I don't know, because I've been carrying all of this sensitive stuff around with me everywhere in a backpack that's nearly as big as me. Is there anything I can use to keep it safe? I'm losing my mind. It's all on my back.
What do you like? Do you like necklaces? Do you like wristbands? What do you like?
Shoulder straps, I guess? Armbands?
Armband. I can do you an armband. Bear with me one moment. And she disappears behind a counter, or behind, through a curtain, shall I say. And she comes back and she's got a wristband. Right. Put all your stuff down.
Sure.
Right. Hang on a minute. She puts it on. Hang on. Pushes it and it sort of lights up an orange colour. And she does this and you watch it like a light. I'm trying to roleplay. I can't see anything. And she scans all of the items. Right. Pushes another button on the thing and all of the items just go and disappear. Sorted. Oh.
Are they?
You might want to wear this.
My things are in the armband.
Yeah.
How are my things in an armband?
Right, you got two. You got the main crystal button. The main crystal, sorry. Don't fiddle with that. And you've got two buttons there, right? The first button, if you push that and she pushes it while she puts it on your wrist and she pushes the button and you watch there's like it's like a Pip Boy, basically an inventory pops up. You can sort of scroll through what you want and then you push, once that item's highlighted, you push this button and she highlights book one, we'll say, and she pushes the button and the book sort of materializes out of it and you can grab it.
I pick her up and give her a bone-crushing hug. Thank you. You are the best friend I never had.
Yeah, you got to fuck right off. Get off. Oh, okay.
Throw her back down.
How does does this work through condensing the matter, or is it transported to another place and brought back again?
I'm returning to look at Hera, just like, God.
It's held within its own.
The armor, going, how do I make this work? I want it.
It's held within its own pocket dimension, so it's yes, it's interesting magic. It's very powerful. Please don't sell it because I don't. Magitech is very rare to find outside of the big city, so it's one of the only forms of it I've got.
What happens if I put a person in it?
I would not advise it.
Would they die?
Yes.
How much air is in the
Interesting.
pocket dimension?
There isn't any air in the pocket dimension. Sorry.
None at all. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. It takes a long while to scan a person as well, to be fair.
Oh.
Anyway, I've told you twice now, and I'm going to tell you for a third time. Fuck off. Get out. I've got
Absolutely.
more experiments to do. Take a few of these, and she opens a drawer out, and there's loads of these batteries in it. And she just plonks them all in your hand. Take those.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. How would you be? Obviously, you've got very important work to be doing down here, and I wouldn't want to disturb. But would you be amenable to me coming and just observing every now
Tell you
and again?
what, if you bring me some pastries from the bakery, you got yourself a deal.
Absolutely, every day.
Yeah, that's fine with me. And yeah, with that, you can leave. I think we've gone over by quite a bit, so we're going to end it there. We will come to Rodney eventually. He will not be zombified by the time we come to him, but we will come to him eventually. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for tonight's session. I apologise, it's overran again. We have been Roll Together RPG. If you'd like to see more of what we do, you can. On Mondays and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. UK time, we play D&D, live talk together, or lore together. Or, if we have things ready, non-D&D TTRPG stuff. Keep an eye on our Discord and our social medias to find out what's coming on a week-by-week basis. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters and to the D20 Club on Patreon. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom. There's a few things that are going on with the Patreon at the moment, so please do keep an eye out on that as well. So thank you to my players for playing in tonight's game and for putting up with my bullshit, as usual. And we will see you all next time. As we always say, stay classy at the table. Goodbye.